Roar, roar. Let me see your fire dragon's might. Boom. The ice fire dragon broke through the mountain and shot out from the rubble into the sky like a fighter jet. Wow. Long Fei could not help but become excited. This is too good. Another one with high difficulty. Master, you are done. When the giant Long Fei of ice and fire reached a certain height, he folded his wings and suddenly dropped down. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Asterisk, whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Asterisk, it pierced through the clouds and descended in a straight line. Violent winds howled by his ears with incomparable speed. The leopard girl closed her eyes tightly and hugged onto Long Fei's body tenaciously. Riding a dragon and courting a girl, Long Fei roared out in his heart, "Fuck, who else is there?" It felt great. The ice fire dragon fell close to the leaves and flipped its body over. Its eyes widened and it suddenly stirred. Boom. He once again flew into the sky and into the clouds. It was sunrise. Long Fei stood on the dragon's back while hugging the leopard girl and watched the sunrise with incomparable satisfaction. This feeling was impossible to imagine in his previous life, and now it was fully realized. Very happily, Long Fei thought to himself at the same time, I will become stronger. I must protect all of this. I want to stand at the peak of this world. Ice and fire. Now, it's time to display your might. Long Fei moved. It could fly, but it was useless. He had to kill monsters. This was a mount. Yes, sir. He retracted his wings, allowing the flames and ice to dive down. The monsters in the dense forest were fleeing in all directions, as if they had seen a ghost. The tyrannical power of the dragon was too brutal for them. They had no way to resist at all. Suddenly, there was a rustling sound from Bing Hua's throat, and red flames sprayed out. Rumble. Wherever the flames went, not a single blade of grass grew. Ding. Congratulations, player Long Fei, for killing the blazing dog. Obtain 1022 experience points, 100 true breath, and 1 energy values. Congratulations to player Long Fei for obtaining 1 point of fire essence chi. Ding. Congratulations, player Long Fei, for killing a conflagration ape to obtain 1500 experience points, 200 true breath, and 1 energy values. Congratulations to player Long Fei for obtaining 1 point of fire essence chi. Ding, 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 ding. The system beep was like firecrackers crackling continuously. This feeling was too good. Moreover, many of the beasts that were instantly killed were 3-rate monster and beast. Savage. How domineering. Ha ha ha. Long Fei watched as his experience flew up. He became excited. In the future, with this guy, wouldn't I be leveling up like a rocket? At the same time, Long Fei opened up the mount system and looked at the attributes of the Ice Fire Dragon. Mount, Ice and Fire Giant Dragon Grade. Divine level, 5 description. Possesses 2 skills, Ice Element, Myriad Swords Piercing Heart, Fire Element, and Wildfire Prairie. Possesses a combined attack skill, Ice and Fire 9 Heavens. Currently, his strength can only release the first level. Description 2. Ice and Fire Dragons require the absorption of ice and fire to level up. Description 3. Duration of 2 hours per day. After that, the user will return to the space within the mount. If he forcibly flies, his speed and strength, his attack, will be greatly reduced, and his profound chi will be weakened until his death. Long Fei's heart trembled. A mount with 3 attacks, an existence above the divine rank. But this fire and ice is only rank 5. Obviously, the giant ice fire dragon in the cave was a full-fledged dragon. The might that it unleashed was its true might. Currently, the ice and fire beast were still at the young beast stage, so they were unable to release such a strong dragon's might. However, this was enough to draw the limelight. instantly killing the three-rate monster and beast. To Long Fei, the three-rate monster and beast could satisfy his needs to level up. However, 2 hours a day was a bit short. If such a domineering mount could be pulled out at any time, how cool would that be? The Three Pillars is awesome. The Nangong Imperial clan was arrogant. The Ice Fire Dragon was able to grind the feces on their butts and spit them out. Continue to kill. Yes, sir. War Pet Space was sullen. Humph. What's the big deal? Isn't it just flying? When I reach level 5, I can also fly. Humph. Wait. I want to break through. I want to break through. I want to break through quickly. From the moment the Ice Fire Dragon became Long Fei's mount, Xiaobai had been a little jealous. At the same time, he also became serious. He felt a sense of crisis in his heart. He needed to quickly break through, and only then would he be able to receive Long Fei's love. Xiaobai muttered, "I'm going to train like crazy." Long Fei held back his laughter and said, "Then cultivate." Xiaobai said, "Even I would be afraid if I were to go crazy." Long Fei said, "Then why don't you try and see for yourself?" "Master, just you wait for me to explode." Humph. Xiaobai closed his eyes and did not speak any further. Long Fei was grinning from ear to ear and thought to himself, "I never thought that the appearance of ice and fire could actually provoke Xiaobai. It seems like there was a good saying in my previous life, only when there is competition will there be pressure." Actually, in terms of overall strength, Xiaobai was above the fire and ice. Especially after Xiaobai had broken through to the second level, the aura exuded from his body was extremely powerful. Summoning the wolf god to fight was something that Long Fei had never thought of before. To be able to summon the wolf god at the second level, wouldn't that mean that he would be able to defy the heavens after breaking through a few levels? Got it. We'll have to play in the future. Long Fei laughed excitedly, commanding his ice and fire. He roared, "Charge!" 2 hours later. Ding! Congratulations to player Long Fei for leveling up. Current level, War Spirit level 6. It leveled up. Long Fei closed his eyes and clenched his fists. He could feel the power of the 6th level of War Spirit, and at the same time could feel his attributes recovering completely. The feeling of his injuries healing was just too wonderful. The fire and ice entered the space within the mount to rest. Long Fei did not rest and said, "Now it's my turn to hunt. The leopard girl. Since you're here, come with me. I'm going to hunt demon beasts for breakthroughs." Long Fei looked at the leopard girl. He did not want to make things difficult for her. The leopard girl was too kind. The leopard girl hesitated for a moment, then giggled and said, "You are my husband, so of course I have to follow you. Big brother Long Fei, you won't throw me away, right?" "Huh." Long Fei held the leopard girl in his embrace and said, "Silly girl, what are you talking about? If you lose the entire world, I won't lose you." Ugh. When the leopard girl heard this, she was moved to a complete mess. Seeing her moved appearance, Long Fei secretly rejoiced in his heart and said, "Seems like the novels I read in my previous life were still of some use. At least I learn a few lines to flirt with girls." And then Long Fei immediately summoned his dragon Salyer, smiled slightly, and said, "All right, then follow me closely. I'm going to start killing now." Chapter 2. Table of Contents 8_8419/2356459. In another place. The fierce tiger pass was lost. Corpses littered the ground, and blood flowed like a river. For an entire 2 days and 2 nights, 100,000 demon armies fought with their lives on the line to defend against Xiao Wudi and 100,000 demon armies. Demon Army also lost soldiers, and the casualties became even more severe. However, This time, Xiao Wudi was determined to kill off the Long family's army. At the same time, he discovered that of the 4 main camps of the Long family, only the Yunlong army was resisting. He didn't know what was happening inside the Long family's army, but this gave him hope. An even crazier attack. In the early morning of the 3rd day, they finally broke through the fierce Tiger Pass and captured Long Yun and more than 1,000 disabled Yunlong army alive. A little rest. Xiao Wudi did not stop. In these 2 days and 2 nights, Long Lei did not send any reinforcements. He didn't even send a single scout. Sleeping Dragon Valley. Silence. There were only a few patrolling guards, and many of them were chatting merrily around the bonfire. General Long Yun has brought 8,000 Yun Long armies to the depths of the Great Wastelands Mountain. It's been 2 days, but there's still not a single piece of news. Could something have happened? 16 years ago, the demon army was beaten up by the Long family's army until they couldn't recover. Have you seen the demons invading the borders all these years? Even if they had 10 times the guts, they wouldn't dare. I heard that General Long Yun dispatched troops for the sake of Long Fei. The last time was because of Long Fei's father, and this time was because of this young master trash. General Long Yun really owes the Long family a debt in his previous life. That's right. It was in vain for our great general to like her so much. This time, regardless of whether she saves Long Fei or not, she will still be punished. Furthermore, that brat Long Fei will definitely not be able to complete the assessment, and her position as the general of the Yunlong army will also be removed. Do you think Long Fei can complete the assessment? Ha ha ha. Just him, a waste of negative activation to dragon blood, could complete the examination? Don't joke around. When did such trash appear in the Long family? That's right. If he can complete the most difficult exam, I'll write down his name. The entire military camp had been discussing this matter these past few days. Seeing that a month was up, without any news from Long Fei, it was clear that the mission's failure was already a foregone conclusion. Even Long Fei had been killed by the demons long ago, or maybe he was swallowed by beasts. If it wasn't deliberately mentioned, nobody would think of Long Fei at all. Within the camp of the Dragon Mountain Valley's main commander, relying on his tea, Long Lei was slightly intoxicated as he thought proudly in his heart, Sister Yun, one day I will get you. Casual. In his opinion, a woman should be taught by her husband and shouldn't stay in the military camp. Women are naturally soft-hearted. Last time, for Long Zhanting, this time, for Long Fei, this was the most unpleasant thing to Long Lei. No matter what, this time, he would not send out a single soldier. Long Yun, this time. I want you to kneel in front of my bed and beg me. And then, ha ha ha. Long Lei laughed excitedly. He had waited for a whole 20 years for a woman, and he had even known Long Yun before Long Zhanting. But from beginning to end, Long Yun did not even glance at him once, and in her heart there was only Long Zhanting. His patience waned. After Long Fei appeared, Long Yun became abnormal, causing the trace of patience in his heart to lose. Since it was like this, he needed to use some methods. Moreover, he didn't care about that much now. Since he couldn't wait, he might as well use the stronger one. The corner of Long Lei's mouth couldn't help but reveal an evil smile. Junior Sister Yun, wait for you to take off all your clothes and stand in front of me. Ha ha. At this moment, bang, 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 Meng Yu's footsteps were like thunder as he hurriedly rushed into the Thunder Dragon's tent. Long Lei stared at him and bellowed fiercely, Meng Yu, you are becoming more and more lawless. Meng Yu's face was anxious, but he did not care too much as he said, Great General, the demon army has pressed on and will soon surround the entire Dragon Reaches valley. How dare you? Long Lei grabbed a good blue and white porcelain teacup and threw it at Meng Yu's feet. He shouted angrily, "Are you the same as Long Yun? If you lie and report the military intelligence, you can be punished with death for your crimes." The teacup flew in all directions, and the magnetic tile carved a line of blood on Meng Yu's face. His entire life was given to him by the Long family army. Even if he had to take his life, he wouldn't frown even if he had to, so he kneeled down heavily and said, "Great General, I didn't lie to you. General Long Yun also didn't lie to you." "My black tiger pioneer camp." Long Lei kicked down and shouted, "Who let you send out your troops? Meng Yu, you sure have a lot of guts." Meng Yu's abdomen was hit, causing extreme pain. He could not help but spurt out a mouthful of blood and said, "Great General, I send out my troops on my own. I can receive whatever punishment you want, but Demon Army is about to surround Dragon Mountain Valley." Long Lei simply could not believe it, as both his eyes stared coldly at Meng Yu, and said, "What benefits did Long Yun give you in the end? You actually lied to me and sent troops?" "Humph. Junior sister apprentice, I really did not think that you would have a way to tame even my subordinates. I have really underestimated you." Long Lei laughed coldly. Meng Yu was pained and anxiously said, "Great General, the demon army is about to arrive. I beg you to give the order to defend. If not, it will be too late." "General, I really don't have any relationship with General Long Yun." "Great General." Long Lei kicked him again and said, "You don't have any connections? Meng Yu, do you think I don't know? Long Yun saw you before, when he left Dragon Valley. Do you think I don't know anything? He was a great general in Wulong Valley, so it was easy to investigate." Meng Yu was startled and anxiously tried to defend himself. "Great General, General Long just asked me to apologize to you. I have something to take care of these past few days. I did not have the time to tell you." "Ha ha ha." Long Lei sneered. "Apologize to me? I know Long Yun's personality very well. Even if she knew it was wrong, she wouldn't apologize in front of me. So why did she ask you to pass it on to her?" "Meng Yu, do you really think I'm an idiot?" It was difficult to tell from mouth, but Meng Yu's heart was aching as though he was dying. He laughed bitterly. "It's over. It's over. The Long family army is going to be finished. Deceiving the masses. You're courting death." With difficulty, he crawled up from the ground. His eyes were gloomy as he stared at Long Lei, and said, "General, the Long family army is the Long family's, not yours. If you don't want to defend, then I'll go." Finished. Meng Yu wiped the blood off his mouth and walked out of the tent. Half a minute later, Pioneer Camp, attack. Meng Yu's prestige in the Pioneer Camp was extremely high. Even without the general's order, many people still followed him, and they had all seen the demon army with their own eyes. Meng Yu waved his hands, and all the black armored warriors of Pioneer Camp took action. The warhorse hissed and roared. Pavilion C at this moment, Xiao Wudi's demon army, was less than 5 kilometers away from Dragon Mountain Valley. Long Lei had never even thought of defending, because he simply did not believe that the demon army could press him to the ground. The 3rd chapter was sent over. Those brothers that hadn't downloaded it, yet all helped to download it. Haiyang was really holding back. Everyone patiently waited. Next week, he would continuously go berserk. Table of contents 8_8419/2356460. The Long family army was in danger. The Long family army was in danger. Long Fei was completely unaware. Late at night, Long Fei continuously searched for demon beasts to hunt. At this moment, he had already entered the deepest part of the great desolate mountain range, which was also the most dangerous place. He had to kill 1 5-level monster and 10 4-rating monster and beasts in order to complete the examination. As for Long Fei, he had already collected all of them. Now, only 5 level monster and 4 rating monster and beasts remained. Moreover, calculating the time, tomorrow would be the last day. It must be completed on this last day. Suddenly, the leopard girl said in a low voice, "Big brother Long Fei, there's a dangerous aura approaching." Not waiting for her to finish, boom, an earth-violent bear roared and stood up. Its paws struck down fiercely, and its claws cut through the air. His strength was abnormally strong. The leopard girl, Long Fei shouted, his body sinking into the ground. He leaped up fiercely and stepped on the big tree, then leaped up again, rippled tiny steps. Shwa! Flashing, with both hands gripping the dragon salyer, he slashed at the violent bear. "Open your skin!" Boom! Fire blade chi was released, the dragon salyer was burning, and it slashed down. The earth-violent bear's right arm was placed horizontally above its head, slashing open the flesh. A scarlet number floated above the head of the earth-violent bear. At the same time, the attributes of the earth-violent bear were revealed. Beast, earth-violent bear grade, peak rank 4 damage, 4.5 stars defense, 4.5 stars description, possesses the power of the earth. Possesses the ability to split the earth with the power of the earth, causing tremors akin to a magnitude 6 earthquake. Huh. Long Fei was startled. Judging from the system's description, it should be a top-tier beast. Then, that's even more so the case. He chopped down with his blade. With a wave of the left arm of the earth-violent bear, Long Fei was swept out. Long Fei's body flew across the air, smashing a large tree into 2. He crawled up from within the ruins and muttered, "Such powerful strength, if it wasn't for 2 layers of defense, I would have burped." At this moment, both of the earth-violent bear's hands formed a fist and raised it into the air, hammering down hard at the ground. At the same time, it roared towards the sky. Shocking force. Immediately, Long Fei shouted at the leopard girl, "Leopard girl!" The leopard girl had an agile figure. She gripped her hands in the air, and a javelin covered in runes appeared in her hands. She then shot it out explosively. At the same time, Long Fei withdrew his dragon salyer, lowered his right arm, and activated his divine power. Before the earth-violent bear's fists could hit the ground, it jumped up and raised its fists. Right arm's godly strength. Boom! It struck the ground right at the violent bear's lower jaw. Divine power exploded. After sending its huge body flying, Long Fei stepped on the violent bear's body and leapt into the air. The shadow of the large power King Kong ape superimposed over Long Fei's body, and at the same time he hugged onto it and smashed it down heavily. The second combo, mountain hit fist, rumble. It struck right on top of the earth-violent bear's head, causing its head to explode and crash heavily onto the ground. Ding! Interrupt him. The moment Long Fei smashed the earth-violent bear to the ground, the leopard girl's javelin arrived. Boom! A spear pierced through the violent bear's throat. Puchi! It was nailed to a big tree some distance away. The runes on the javelin absorbed the blood, and then it slowly disappeared into thin air. Symbol spear. This was the leopard girl's unique ability. After fusing with the power of the runes on the stone tablet, she was able to freely manipulate them. It was incomparably precise, and it was even an indicator of the limit. It directly dealt critical damage. Ding! Do you want to release striking attribute? Long Fei hesitated for half a second. No. The striking attribute was very important. He did not want to waste it on the beasts. He wanted to destroy the human-shaped boss Xiao Wudi. Only the humanoid boss could drop such a sharp item. Congratulations to player Long Fei for gaining EXP from killing the earth-violent bear. True Breath, 300 points. Energy, 1 point. Congratulations to player Long Fei for obtaining the demonic core of the Earth Violent Bear. Do you wish to fuse it? Congratulations to player Long Fei for obtaining the splitting pulse technique. Do you wish to cultivate it? Huh. Long Fei was secretly shocked. They actually dropped a spirit demon core. Looks like the Earth Violent Bear is indeed a top-tier beast. Fuse. Naturally, the Earth-type monster core had to be fused. Ding. Congratulations to player Long Fei for successfully fusing. His mastery of the Earth element had increased by 10, and his comprehension of the splitting pulse technique by 50. Cultivate. It was only natural to cultivate the splitting mountain art, and Long Fei thought about the method of fusing the splitting pulse technique with the combo attack, which also meant that it could achieve 3 moves in a row, which doubled the effect of the damage. Continue to kill. Long Fei did not stop. Rumble! Rumble! The heck! 4 rating monster and beasts is indeed abnormal. Long Fei sat on the body of a raging inferno demon ape and panted heavily. If it wasn't for the incomparably sharp dragon Salyer S, it would really be difficult to kill. There are still 8 more to kill. Deep in the great desolate mountain range, powerful demonic beasts ran rampant. In just 3 short hours, Long Fei had already killed 10 4-rating monster and beasts. Right now, he was only 1 step away from completing the mission. Long Fei raised his head and consumed a healing pellet, and then a true pill. He examined the pill. He thought to himself, there are only 2 true pill left. The pills are completely insufficient. Next time when I return to the Fireglass City, I will need to buy more spirit herbs. Pills were red and blue. Without these 2 things, it would be too difficult. The leopard girl leaned on Long Fei's back, sweating profusely as she said, Big brother Long Fei, I'm so tired. How about we end it here today? Her javelin was too powerful. Long Fei was reluctant in his heart, but he only had a few hours left. He had to rush back to Wulong Valley after dawn. He did not want to disappoint Auntie Long Yun. He didn't want to disappoint the Long family. He didn't want to disappoint his uncle and grandfather either. Long Fei clenched his fists tightly and laughed. You stay here to rest. I will kill another one and then come back. The leopard girl immediately giggled and said, If Big Brother Long Fei wants to kill, I want to follow as well. Long Fei scratched the leopard girl's perky nose and said, It's all right. I don't want you to be too tired. The leopard girl laughed mischievously. Didn't you humans say that marrying a chicken will always be a chicken, and marrying dogs will always be a dog? No. Big Brother Long Fei is not a chicken or dog. I'm going to follow you anyway. I'll follow you for the rest of my life. Hee hee. With that, the leopard girl walked into the depths of the dark forest, jumping around in an extremely cute manner. Looking at the leopard girl's sexy figure, her mischievous smile, and that pampered body that was about to come out, Long Fei really wanted to pamper her a little. Huff. For the mission, I will endure. Long Fei smiled from the bottom of his heart and muttered, It's a matter of time anyway. Why would I be in such a hurry? Hee hee. Suddenly, the leopard girl screamed. Long Fei's eyes tightened and quickly rushed forward. It was also at this time. Pavilion C, boom. The leopard girl was sent flying by a powerful force. At the same time, dust billowed in the air as the ground quaked with each step. 2 green eyes stared at Long Fei. Long Fei also raised his head and stared at it, a level 5 demon beast. Level 7, the 7-rating monster and beasts. The first chapter was sent to thank you Shangwan Xiaolan, Xie Wendong my little brother, Brother Zhou, 6901, Qingcheng, Xian, Shilua, the Guardian Angel, Loach, Love and Hate Dilemma SK, Rolling Away, Dream Tai, Heaven Demon Pity, Chasing After the Wind Leaf, Shang Xian, The young man in the dream, blood dream tears. Ha ha! Squatting on the street and giving rewards. Ocean thank you everyone. Level 7. The 7 rating monster and beasts. Level 7. The 7 rating monster and beasts. Long Fei was immediately scared silly. Right now, he could barely deal with the 4 rating monster and beasts. Even the 5 level monster wanted to risk their lives, and now a 7 rating monster and beasts had rushed out. Moreover, the flickering golden light from the 7 rating monster and beasts caused Long Fei to be unable to open his eyes. Boss. SS. It was several times stronger than the light of the large power King Kong ape. If I kill this guy, once I release the berserk energy. What the heck? Long Fei was almost unable to hold back his emotions. Exploded. In that instant, Long Fei made a decision and said to the leopard girl, "Fight." The leopard girl crawled up, her gaze tensed, wanting to remind Long Fei that the beast was different. However, when she saw that Long Fei had already rushed forward, she immediately nodded her head, grabbed the air, and took out the rune spear, running towards the other side. Long Fei dragged the dragon salyer with one hand and released the power of a Peak War Spirit level 6, causing his body's power to rise. The knife dragged the ground. Sparks flew in all directions as soon as the stone was touched. The scene was as if the barbarian king had broadened his sword. The blade was too heavy. Long Fei was unable to lift it with one hand and could only drag it along the way. In an instant, Long Fei's right arm moved. Right arm's got power. Buzz. From within his right arm exploded the angry roar of a large power King Kong ape. His entire right arm was trembling, and his strength was wreaking havoc as well. The 7 rating monster and beasts moved its body. It raised its gigantic foot and stomped down towards Long Fei's head. Big Brother Long Fei. The leopard girl began to worry. Just now, it was it that sent her flying. The impact was too great. Long Fei raised his eyes slightly, ripples stepping level teleportation. Schwa. Ding. Congratulations to player Long Fei for leveling up. Currently at level 3. The true breath moved. Long Fei's body fiercely flashed and directly teleported over 10 meters away. This was the limit of teleportation, but this distance was not safe. The huge beast's foot slammed down, but the impact could still send him flying. However, Long Fei did not stop. With the support of his right leg, he suddenly jumped up, and the god power in his right arm was suddenly released. All of them rushed into the dragon salyer. The dragon salyer released a loud sound. The dragon salyer technique's fire blade chi instantly ignited. Using his god power, Long Fei clenched his fists. He jumped into the air and chopped down at the beast. Boom! The flames soared to the sky and slashed down. It struck the head of the huge beast. Rumble! Flames burst out, and in that instant, a bright red damage appeared on the head of the huge beast. Pitifully little damage. F*CK. Long Fei cursed. This damage. It was so low that it could make people's hair stand on end. If the dragon salyer was activated by divine power, it would at least receive 6 figures worth of critical damage. But now, Long Fei was speechless. How strong exactly were the 7 rating monster and beasts? Too terrifying. At the same time, its attributes were displayed in Long Fei's system. Demonic Beast, Lord of Wild Mountain Devil Grade, Level 7 Destructive Power, 9 stars Defense, 10 stars Skills, Infinite Shield, Magic Chop Demon Description. The Lord Boss within tens of thousands of kilometers of the Wild Mountain Devil possesses unparalleled strength. The Infinite Shield can block all the damage from the War Master, and the Magic Chop can gather all the power of the Desolate Mountain and Fire Demons. Description 2. The wild mountain devil possesses a sliver of the Titan blood lineage. Description 3. Unrivaled. Looking at the wild mountain devil's attributes. Long Fei felt numb on his scalp, an invincible defensive skill, an invincible attack skill. I'll be fucked. How can there be such a demon beast? No wonder the Dragon Salyer only dealt about 100 points of damage. Just 10 stars of defense is enough, not to mention activating the infinite shield. Moreover, what the hell was a Titan blood lineage? Wasn't Titan usually hiding deep in the sea? Why would they own Titan blood lineage? Damn you! Long Fei cursed in his heart and quickly retreated to the side. Right now, it was getting closer and closer to daybreak, so there wasn't enough time to find another 5-level monster. Even if he wanted to find the great Demon King, he would not let him leave so easily. One word. F***CK. Although the strength and defense of the wild mountain devil could be considered abnormal, but the stronger the boss, the more holy artifact it would drop. His many years of experience in the game had told Long Fei that this wild mountain devil would definitely drop something good. Thinking like this, Long Fei became even more hot-blooded. I must kill him. The leopard girl. Distant attack. As Long Fei spoke, he started to move quickly. Is your divine power not enough? All right. Wushuang, open. Boom. A strand of power burst out from Long Fei's body. With his double attribute activated, with a move of his right arm, God power began to circulate, and Long Fei continued to move. He was looking for the wild mountain devil's weakness. Any demon beast, even at the perfection stage, would have a weakness. As long as a weakness was found, it would be able to cause critical damage. Whoosh! The leopard girl aimed at the limit of her distance. Wild mountain devil did not even look at it, and directly let it pierce his body. Instead, it rushed towards Long Fei, and easily uprooted a gigantic tree, turned it into a rod, and smashed towards Long Fei. Teleport! With a leap, Long Fei instantly moved 10 meters away and landed on a big tree. He then leaped into the air and slashed at the head of the great Demon King once again. Ingest the divine power. Boom. Dragon Salyer technique. Boom. The Dragon Salyer combusted, and the flaming blade's aura was at least 10 meters away. This time, Long Fei swiped at the great Demon King's neck and said, "Take one more slash." Boom. The saber chopped down. Bam. The flaming blade chi that was 10 meters long formed a whip and directly coiled around the great Demon King's neck. Following the activation of Long Fei's true breath, the flaming blade chi suddenly grew stronger. The flames exploded. Buzz. A 4 digits damage floated above the great Demon King's head. It was more than 10 times more than before. However, it was far from enough. The great Demon King had at least 900,000 HP, and such a small amount of damage was completely useless. Furthermore, Long Fei dared to be certain that this was definitely not his weakness. The saber slashed down. The great Demon King was enraged. He turned around and swept his hand across the beast. Magic chop! Rumble! 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 The entire hundreds of thousands of barren mountains trembled as countless amounts of fire devil energy gathered on the towering tree in his hands, madly converging. 10% of a second. Kill. The slash continued. Teleport. Long Tian looked at the sky full of demonic flames, which seemed to have descended from outer space. His mind tightened as he rapidly escaped. Rumble. The air was burning wherever the magic chop went. Long Fei was not struck, but was pressed down to the ground by the intense power of the fire devils. His entire body was in incomparable pain, and his heat was unbearable. His skin was burning red. Long Fei clenched his teeth Is that really impossible? Really? I refuse to accept this. Chapter 2 was sent to Table of Contents 8_8419/23564662. Clapping the ground with his right hand, his body bounced up, and looking at the gigantic great demon king above him, Long Fei's eyes became sinister. I don't believe it anymore. Clapping the ground with his right hand, his body bounced up, and looking at the gigantic great demon king above him, Long Fei's eyes became sinister. I don't believe it anymore. What boss in the game am I not going to kill? Isn't it just the 7 rating monster and beasts? Long Fei, do not believe this. While he was speaking, the great demon king was furious because the magic chop did not kill Long Fei. He lifted his right leg and stomped down heavily, intending to stomp Long Fei into meat paste. At this moment, why is there a black dot on the sole of my foot? Is that its hood door? Long Fei frowned. No matter what, I have to give it a try. If he couldn't find a weakness, then he wouldn't be able to kill him. The wild mountain devil was simply too strong. Long Fei wasn't on the same level at all. If he wanted to kill them, he could only rely on his own intelligence. You want to flatten me? All right. Let's see who is strong enough. Long Fei leaped into the air and rushed forward. The dragon Salyer moved, raised its hands in the air, and suddenly stabbed towards the black dot. Pucci, break through his defenses. A bright red damage floated above the great demon king's head. Ha ha! Long Fei laughed excitedly. 5 figures worth of damage. This is definitely a hood door. Roar! The great demon king screamed in pain. He did not give up attacking Long Fei just because his foot was in so much pain. Walala! The sound of wind breaking rang out. Long Fei was crushed under his feet, and he was only dozens of meters away from the ground. It was already impossible to pull out the dragon Salyer from the ground. Long Fei hardened his heart and shouted, "Then you will die from the pain. Give up the dragon Salyer." With both hands grabbing the soles of his feet, he spread out his limbs, and a strange gurgling sound came from his Adam's apple. When he was still 1 meter away from the ground, toting skill. Whoosh! He was sent flying. Boom! 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 The sand surged and filled the entire sky. The entire valley was violently trembling, and the wild mountain devil was wailing nonstop as the dragon Salyer was completely pierced through the bottom of its feet. Tons of damage continuously floated up from the top of his head. He couldn't stop it at all. Wild Mountain Devil used his feet to try and pull out the dragon Salyer S from the soles of his feet. Could Long Fei agree to it, seeing the great demon king's health continuously decrease? This was the perfect time to take advantage of his illness and take his life. Whoosh Wong! Swish! The sound of power burning arose from Long Fei's body. His 4 limbs moved, and his body charged forward like a cannonball, directly striking the great demon king's abdomen. The true breath entered the great demon king's body. Bam! The great demon king was furious beyond belief. He could only give up on taking out his dragon Salyer, patting Xiang Long Fei with one hand, and let out a furious roar. Ha ha ha! Does the pain feel good? Want to pull it out? In your dreams! Long Fei laughed madly. He only needed to delay the great demon king and not let him pull out the dragon Salyer. Seeing that the great demon king was about to attack him, he immediately jumped to the other side and mocked, "I can't hit you, I can't hit you, you can't hit me. Ha ha!" He had a cheap look. The great demon king was even more furious. Being toyed with by a human was something he had never done before. Immediately, both of his feet stomped on the ground, causing him to grit his teeth in pain. The pain was extremely excruciating, and because he pushed on his legs, the dragon Salyer moved even more. Roar! When Long Fei saw the two of them dealing so much damage, he excitedly laughed at them. "That's great. Come and hit me. Come and hit me." He looked too cheap. Even the leopard girl could not bear to look at him. The great demon king was even more furious. In his heart, he paid his respects to all 18 generations of Long Fei's ancestors and conveniently grabbed a huge tree that was as tall as the sky. Magic chop! The might of the infernal king completely exploded. The surroundings trembled, and Long Fei almost couldn't stand straight. He thought to himself, "Damn, does this skill have a seismic attribute?" He looked at the demonic fire shooting towards the sky. Long Fei did not dare to be careless. As if he were to be touched by just a little bit of it, he would be instantly killed. Although he looked like a lowly person, he was actually extremely serious. The moment the magic chop landed, Long Fei's body moved. Teleportation. Shua had not expected that he could escape from the second slash. The great demon king did not stop and immediately executed the second slash. Magic chop. Holy sh asterisk t. The system didn't say that it was connected. Long Fei was so scared that he pissed his pants and escaped frantically. Rumble! 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 Magic chop, 18 consecutive slashes. Long Fei was so scared that he almost peed on his pants from the slashing. He rolled on the ground in a sorry state while feeling extremely unwell in his heart. 18 consecutive slashes. He stretched out his right hand, wanting to take out the dragon Salyer. But at this moment, he suddenly remembered that the dragon Salyer was still at the bottom of the great demon king's feet. Long Fei's forehead tightened. His hand turned into a blade, causing the idea to sink. Wang. Everything seemed to stop. Long Fei instantly entered the state of one with the world. His eyes suddenly opened wide as he stared at the incomparably huge great demon king and shouted angrily, "Who is the 18 consecutive slashes? I'll let you experience the blade-less stream for 199 slashes." Boom! Long Fei's palm suddenly combusted. The dragon Salyer technique released a flaming blade chi. The blade chi moved. Long Fei's body also moved. Skin open, tendons broken, bones broken, divine opened. Dragon Salyer technique, 7 consecutive slashes. Gale chop, hurricane cut. The accumulated 2 layers of Bladiki were released. This was because the body of the great demon king was simply too enormous to blow up at all. Teleport. Shua. He landed in front of the great demon king, and their gazes met. Long Fei was too insignificant in front of him. This scene was unimaginably shocking. It was something that would only appear in movies. The great demon king's eyes were bloodshot, his eyes staring straight at Long Fei. In that moment, he opened his mouth wide and bit down at Long Fei. "Bladeless blade. Dragon chop, break it for me." Long Fei screamed, and with a move of his body, all of the true breath was injected into it, causing it to burst out. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Asterisk, whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Asterisk, whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Asterisk, it crazily chopped down. 10th slash, 50th slash, 100th slash, 150th slash. Each level dealt more damage than the previous one. After 150 slashes, the great demon king could no longer hold on. With an angry roar, a level shield appeared on his body. Infinite shield? So what if it's a shield? Die for me too. The remaining 49 slashes were still being crazily unleashed. At this moment, Long Fei had completely fallen into a crazed state. "If you don't die, I won't rest." Arrogant beyond belief. While Long Fei was releasing the dragon chop, the damage caused by the dragon Salyer was still ongoing. Last slash. Explode for me. Long Fei looked at the last bit of HP of the great demon king and slashed, "Explode." The system beep rang. Ding. The third chapter was delivered. There were still 4 days until the countdown. Next week. Next week, 7 days, I will get 10 chapters a day. Table of contents, 8_8419/2356463. The system beep rang. The system beep rang. In that moment, Long Fei moved. Release your striking attribute. Ding. Congratulations to player Long Fei for killing Lord of Wild Mountain Devil for obtaining 1 experience point, true breath point, and energy values point. Congratulations to player Long Fei for obtaining the Wild Mountain Devil's erupting demon core. Do you wish to fuse it? Congratulations to the player Long Fei for obtaining the Great Demon King's Abhijna. Do you wish to cultivate it? Congratulations to player Long Fei for obtaining Magic Chop for cultivating this ability. Please advise demonic cultivators to be able to learn it. Congratulations to player Long Fei for obtaining Titan Blood Lineage. Do you wish to fuse it? Congratulations to player Long Fei for obtaining the Holy Artifact, Yellow Springs Divine Sword. Ding! Congratulations to player Long Fei for leveling up, currently at War Spirit level 7. Ding! Congratulations to player Long Fei for obtaining a special reward for defeating 7 rating monster and beast's Wild Mountain Devil. Level +1, current level, War Spirit level 8. Ding! Congratulations to the player Dragon Salyer Technique for leveling up. Current level 3. The system exploded. Long Fei's ears went numb from the shock. At the same time, his blood started to boil. Every time he heard a system beep, he would become excited. Berserk! Berserk! What do you mean by berserk? This is F*King Berserk. And then, Long Fei quickly checked the attributes. Item: Explosive Demonic Core, LV7, Description: Inherited Critical Chance Attribute Bonus. Critical hit. Long Fei's eyes shook. Good stuff, good stuff. This thing is too cool. The idea moved and quickly said, Fusion? You still don't want to fuse the critical element demon cores? This was a heaven-defying attribute. The nature elemental's stats were far weaker than the critical hit attribute. If the critical hit attribute could increase critical hit damage, then that was a ton of damage. Ding! Congratulations to player Long Fei for successfully fusing them. Critical strike plus 10%. Awesome! Next, Infinite Shield. Long Fei thought in his heart. Cultivate. Martial skill. Infinite Shield rank. Heaven ranked level 9. Wild Mountain Devil Divine Technique. Consumption, 500 true breath points per second. Lasts for 5 seconds. Description: the Infinite Shield-S have entered the Invincible mode. Ha ha ha. Long Fei could not help but burst out laughing. All experts below the War Emperor realm are immune to attacks. What kind of existence is this? Invincible, truly invincible. It's too awesome. In the future, when I meet any War Master Ream ranker, won't I just be casually beaten by him? This thing could be said to be the most defensive one. In the entire Fireglass dynasty, there are no experts from the War Emperor realm, so it can also be said that no one could break Long Fei's defense. Just a little. Infinite Shield-S were exchanged with burning true breath points, of which 5,000 points per second was not something an ordinary person could afford. However, did not have to worry. Killing Wild Mountain Devil would earn him 50,000 points in one go, and his current value of true breath was 50,000 points in full strength, so he did not need to worry about consuming a mere 5,000 points in a second. Magic Chop. Cultivate. Long Fei looked at the next item. Ding. Unable to practice. Hint. Only demonic cultivators can practice this martial skill. Long Fei was startled. We still need demonic cultivators to cultivate. Should we enter the demonic cultivator system to cultivate for a bit? After thinking for a while, Long Fei gave up. because you don't want to waste 2,000 credit point. You have to return to your original form after you've cultivated. You can come cultivate after the next time when you have enough points. Long Fei did not need demonic cultivators now. Titan blood lineage. Long Fei was a little excited. This kind of blood lineage was a top-tier existence. The king of giants, the king of defense. Item, Titan blood lineage. Rank, holy vein description. The user can obtain the power of the Titan. The user can cultivate the power of the blood lineage to the peak realm and transform into a peak Titan. Gudong, he can transform into a Titan. Long Fei's eyes lit up. Titan is the overlord of the deep sea. Transforming into Titan is truly too awesome. Should I fuse them? Should I fuse them? Long Fei frowned. After pondering for a moment, he decided to give up on the fusion process. The blood lineage could only be chosen once, and after fusing with the Titan blood lineage, he would not be able to choose another blood lineage. Long Fei was a little unresigned in his heart. Last time, when he was in the Long family's martial arena, he was told by so many people that negative activation to dragon blood was trash. If he wanted to fuse them, it would be like the Long family's ancestor, slaying the dragon god and fusing with the most noble and top-notch blood lineage of the Sky Martial Continent, dragon god blood lineage. The last item, the Yellow Springs Divine Sword. Long Fei started to get excited. This was a holy artifact, the only other being. Item, Yellow Springs Divine Sword rank. Holy artifact destructive power. 10 stars defense. Sporadic necessity, 9 stars description. This sword is made from the blood of the Yellow Springs. It possesses the supreme power of the Yellow Springs. Once the sword is unleashed, the path of the Yellow Springs will not be turned back until one reaches the underworld. Description 2. With the hidden sword skill, underworld soul sword art. As long as it is used, once it touches passive, the sword will be unstoppable, and it will not turn back until it dies. Description 3. This sword art is called the Desperate Sword Art. It has no defense, only attack, and is also known as the Unending Death Sword. Once the sword is out, the road to River Styx. Don't look back until you reach the underworld. Too domineering. Long Fei looked at the description and instantly felt his blood boil. This is a sword returning to the west. If you don't die, I won't rest until you reach this realm. It's exactly the same style as this young master. Ha ha ha, for me, awesome. The feeling of going berserk was too great. After leveling up 2 levels consecutively, unleashing a cultivation method, holy vein, and even holy artifact, Long Fei's realm had suddenly risen by a lot. After looking through all of this, Long Fei walked to the wild mountain devil's side and pulled out the dragon salyer at the bottom of its feet. If not for the dragon salyer sticking out of its body, wanting to kill the great demon king was simply a fantasy. Shwa. Long Fei took out the dragon-slaying saber. It was dripping with blood and gave off an ominous aura. Savage. Domineering. Although it was only a broken blade, it still possessed the domineering aura of a supreme artifact. Under the pouring of fresh blood, it became even more domineering, just like a war god. Long Fei said excitedly, "Good brother, I will definitely find the other half as soon as possible." Buzz buzz. The dragon salyer shook, and the blood on the blade fell out, revealing a sinister dragon head. The dragon head faced the sky, as if it was going to fly up. At this moment, the system notification suddenly sounded. Ding! Titan blood lineage was absorbed by the dragon salyer. Ding! Dragon salyer leveled up. Ding! Enchanted dragon salyer. Long Fei was stunned in place. He looked at the dragon salyer in his hand that was wrapped in blood light and sword chi and shouted out with blood boiling, "It actually knows how to level up." The first chapter was sent. Thank you for your love. Not just talking about books, crazy people. OMG, Dream Spring and Summer, Kung Fu Luan, Blood Dream Tears, Chin Xiao, Mask, Little Fang Zhan, Life is Like a Play, Rolling Away, Yun Xian, Wuching, Ha Ha Ha, Dream of Fate, Fate, Happiness, Guess Little Fan, Ling Tian, Li Juanxiang, The Sea thanks you for your support. 8_8419/2356464. It was too shocking. It was too shocking. Weapons leveling was a very normal thing, but it would not be normal for the weapon to level up by itself. Moreover, why did Dragon Salyer level up? It was absorbing the Titan blood lineage to level up, absorbing the blood lineage to level up. What was his name? Immediately, Long Fei immediately checked the Dragon Salyer's attributes. Weapon, Dragon Salyer, incomplete magic, rank, holy artifact, incomplete and incomplete. Weight, 13,000 gene damage, SSS class 10 stars higher. Description, holy artifacts that kill evil spirits have a 200% attack effect on evil beings and a 50% attack effect on dragons. It has a dragon slaying strike, hidden skill, activation rate of 1%. Description 2, devouring vein demonic, bloodlight, and sword energy slay everything. Description 3, currently 2nd level incomplete, Dragon Salyer, automatic absorption, automatic upgrade. Damn! Long Fei's heart trembled. It looked like there wasn't much difference in terms of attributes, but what the hell was the last line of automatic absorption, automatic upgrade? Has it become a smart weapon? Moreover, upgrade. What level did he level up to? Infinite level up, infinite strength? Would that be sharp? My little heart. Long Fei could not take it anymore. No matter how demonic the Dragon Salyer got, it was still Long Fei's weapon. Ha ha ha. This is great. Long Fei was excited. He had played the game for a few years and had used the holy artifact S before, but he had never encountered a weapon that could level up for him. Let's see how powerful you are. Long Fei held the demonic Dragon Salyer and walked in front of the wild mountain devil's head. His hands moved and instantly chopped. Bloody light filled the sky. Moreover, in that instant, traces of Titan's power was actually released from the Dragon Salyer, slashing down arrogantly. Boom! The blade aura extended for 100 meters, all the way to the sleigh, and the towering tree was sliced into two, directly into two. The head of the wild mountain devil chopped down, like vegetables. Looking at the Dragon Salyer in his hands, Long Fei couldn't say anything for a long time. Too amazing, ha ha ha. Absorbing the blood lineage was just a way to level up. But I never thought that it would leave behind the strength of a blood lineage. It's just like a human, so cool. At this moment, the sun rose. Long Fei placed Wild Mountain Devil's head inside the space ring, then looked at the leopard girl, who was watching him quietly on the other side. The leopard girl giggled and shook her head. No matter what you've become, no matter if you're crazy, or obsessed, you'll always be my big brother Long Fei, and will always be my husband. After saying the last two words, the leopard girl's feet blushed. Under the first rays of the morning sun, she seemed incomparably beautiful, just like an angel. Long Fei would always quickly calm down in his heart when he saw her. And then Long Fei walked up and held the leopard girl's hand, muttering with a smile, "Let's go. You will follow me, the Long family." Today was the final day of the mission. He had to get back to Wulong Valley before nightfall. At this moment, Wulong Valley was filled with smoke and corpses. The defense line was constantly shrinking. The Long family had never been in such a sorry state before. If it weren't for the fact that Dragon Mountain Valley was a natural danger that was easy to defend and hard to attack, the Long family's army would have already been completely annihilated. All of this was because of Long Lei, if he believed Long Yun's words. S 100,000 demon army simply could not charge in while defending the fierce Tiger Pass. But now, Long Lei still did not feel that he was wrong, and hated Long Zhanting, Long Fei, and Long Yun from the bottom of his heart. Damned trash if he did not come to train in the army. How could the Long family have reached such a state? Long Yun disregards the discipline of the military as well. It's all their fault. Otherwise, Long Lei's heart was raging. He didn't feel that he was in the wrong. In his view, everything was Long Yun, Long Fei's fault. Long Lei replied, "Big brother, there's no point in talking about this now. The most important thing right now is how to break out of the encirclement. We can't let all of the Long family's troops die in Dragon Mountain Valley." Long Feng also said, "Sleeping Dragon Valley is a dangerous place, easy to defend but hard to attack. Even if they don't attack, this month's emperor will reduce the military's expenses and supplies. The food in our valley can't last for more than 3 days, and the demon army will trap us to death in Sleeping Dragon Valley. I also suggest breaking through." Long Lei said. Long Lei's brows twitched and said, "Breaking out of the encirclement is like digging one's own grave. Last night, I sent out a carrier pigeon to request for Nangong Jun's support. At this moment, Long Lei and Long Feng were both stunned. Long Lei did not care about anything else. Instead, he said in shock, "Big brother, how did you come into contact with Nangong Jun?" Long Feng followed. "Big brother, don't you know about Nangong Lei's character? The Grand Elder has clearly forbidden the Long family and the Nangong family from having any interactions." Long Lei sneered and said, "Don't you guys know the current situation of the Long family? If not for the deterrence of our Long family's troops, the Long family would have ceased to exist long ago. Even if it was the deterrence of the Long family's troops, the Long family's demise would only be a matter of time. Do you think that Grand Elder can save the Long family?" I have already received news that the Grand Elder had forcefully released the War Master Reem's chi and is heavily injured, and is now being maintained by the continued life pill. That mediocre person Long Zhanhai, at most, his cultivation is only at War Elder realm. He can't hold up the flag of the Long family. Could it be just based on that trash Long Fei? He's just a piece of trash. I'm afraid he's already dead in hundreds of thousands of barren mountains. Do you really think I arranged for him to enter the hundreds of thousands of barren mountains to train directly because of Qi Longyun? Humph. This is the command of the Marquis Nangong Lai. We also have to plan for our future. We have to find a way out as well. Don't tell me that we have to perish together with the Long family. Long Lei was very excited when he said this. Long before Long Fei came to Floating Dragon Valley, Long Lei had already received his secret order. Next, he used Long Yun's preference towards Long Fei to enrage Long Yun, and directly let Long Fei enter the final exam, the Desolate Mountain Trial. All of this was part of his plan, but he never thought that Xiao Wudi's demon army would suddenly attack and surround them in Dragon Valley, but Long Lei was not worried at all. When Nangong Jun receives the message, he would immediately come to support them, and at that time, he would have the entire Long family's army under his control. The Fire Glass City would also make a move. Long family, he would definitely be killed. Long Lei laughed complacently. My two brothers, our best prospects, are right in front of us. Only by following King Nangong will we have a future. In another place, Nangong Jun's base, not a single soldier moved. Moreover, when Nangong Kuan received Long Lei's message, he did not immediately send his men to save him, but instead directly rushed to Fire Glass City. The Long family troops were surrounded. The Long family was going to die. The second chapter was delivered. 8_8419/2356465. Nangong Jun's base. Nangong Jun's base. General, are we not going to send troops? Nangong Kuan smiled, slightly. Of course we have to send out our troops, but not now. It's when the demon army and the Long family's army fight to the death. That would be the best time for us to send our troops. Huh. Nangong Kuan continued to speak. The Long family's army has won, and the Long family's army is going to die. That way, we can completely blame it on the demon army. This will also remove the greatest danger for the prince. If demon army wins, based on the Long family's fighting strength, demon army will definitely suffer heavy losses. And at that time, we won't be able to fight back. Like this, our Nangong army will support you in time to stop the demon army from invading our Fire Glass dynasty. As for all of the Long family's dead bodies, who would bring them up? The losers aren't qualified to be recorded in the annals of history. Ha ha! With the annihilation of the Long family's army, the last talisman of the Long family is gone. The Long family will also disappear from Fire Glass City. Everything is under the control of our Nangong family. Ha 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 ha! Nangong Kuan had been looking forward to this day from the beginning. He had finally arrived. Nangong Kuan slightly shouted, "Pass down my order. 30,000 Nangong soldiers are to quickly gather and get into formation. No one is to take a step out of Black Tiger Mountain without my order." "Yes, sir." Sleeping Dragon Valley, the Long family's military camp. Mengyu was wounded all over, and disregarding all the obstacles, he charged into Long Lei's tent. He knelt on the ground and said in a heavy voice, "Great General, break through the encirclement. If you don't break out now, the Long family's troops will really all die. I, Mengyu, am willing to be the vanguard." Not waiting for him to finish, Long Lei kicked Mengyu's lower jaw. His eyes opened wide as he shouted, "Mengyu, I have a limit to how I can endure, and you are not the one to teach me how to do it." Bam! This kick was extremely powerful and directly caused Mengyu to spin 360 degrees, heavily smashing him to the ground. Mengyu spat out a mouthful of blood, gnashed his teeth, and said, "Great General, demon army has not attacked for so long, so we must be gathering our power. We will definitely be able to catch them off guard if we break out of the encirclement now. I beg of you." Bam! He kicked out again, was kicked out of the tent. Long Lei walked out and shouted, "Mengyu, if you dare commit an offense against your superiors, remove your Pioneer Camp Battalion commander position. If you continue committing an offense, we will punish you according to the military law." Following that, Long Lei's voice was like a loud bell. It resounded throughout the entire Wulong Valley and said, "Without my order, no one is allowed to break out. Otherwise, they will be treated as deserters and will be killed." As soon as his voice faded, all the warriors in Dragon Mountain Valley felt a chill in their hearts. The Long family's fighting strength was very strong. Even if they were surrounded and placed in dire straits, their fighting strength would not decrease by even a little bit, because the Long family's soul would never be defeated, never yield. The more desperate the situation got, the stronger the Long family's combat effectiveness would be. Everyone knew that this was the best time to break out of the encirclement, but Long Lei had chosen to stay put and defend the valley. This was only secondary. More importantly, it had shaken the morale of the 20,000 soldiers of the Long family. This is the most deadly. How could this be? Are we going to wait for death in Wulong Valley? What the hell is going on? Why would General Long Lei give such an order? Demon army is resting. If we attack at this time, we will definitely kill them all and break out of the encirclement. Even the most ordinary soldiers could think of such a tactic. How could Long Lei not think of this? Big brother, even if we choose Nangong Jun, we still have to break through. However, his army and Long Feng's army had suffered heavy losses and was simply unable to contend against Long Lei. Moreover, if they were to engage in internal strife at this time, they would die even faster. The only thing they could do was urge Long Lei to break out of the encirclement. Long Feng also said, "That's right, big brother. Let's break out of the encirclement." Long Lei smiled leisurely. "You guys are still too young. We choose to break out. And even if we succeed in breaking through, our losses would still be heavy. The Long family's army can be considered our bargaining chip. If our bargaining chip is too light, how can we negotiate with Nangong Lei? At that time, we will only be looked down upon. More than 20,000 soldiers of the Long family are our bargaining chips. If we want to be recognized and get a higher rank, we must ensure that our bargaining chips are not reduced." Long Lei laughed. "Nangong Jun will definitely come to provide assistance, because Nangong Lei would never dream about obtaining the support of the Long family's troops. In the Fire Glass City, any family will definitely want to obtain the control of the Long family's troops, so Nangong Lei will definitely send reinforcements." Long Lei firmly believed in it. However, he did not think about the consequences if Nangong Jun did not send out his troops. Long Lei and Long Feng looked at each other. They knew very well that they could no longer persuade Long Lei to turn back. "Big brother, since you've made your decision, let's go back and make some preparations," Long Lei said. Long Lei looked at them, his eyes narrowed, and smiled. "You two wouldn't betray me, right?" The two of them felt their hearts tremble, and their faces changed slightly. Long Feng laughed. "Big brother, what are you saying? We three brothers came here together, and we also want a better future." "Ha ha ha. This is a smart person's choice." Long Lei laughed with relief and said, "All these years I worked hard for Long Sanfeng. What did we get? Nothing. Follow the Nangong King. Gold, beauties, power, everything. Just wait and enjoy. Ha ha ha." Long Lei had already fallen into madness. Having worked hard for the Long family all these years, his heart was filled with accumulated resentment, especially after Long Yun led his troops into the fierce Tiger Pass. The resentment in his heart completely exploded out. He wanted to choose his own path, a path that led to wealth and prosperity. Long Fei. Long Fei brought the leopard girl and quickly rushed in the direction of Dragon Mountain Valley. Along the way, he felt that something was wrong. He had never encountered a single demon beast, so it was very strange in the hundreds of thousands of barren mountains. When he arrived at the fierce Tiger Pass, the blood was black and the ground was littered with corpses. There are all Yunlong Army S. So Long Fei's heart immediately sank. No wonder Xiao Wudi did not continue searching. So it turns out, this is bad. Wulong Valley. Long Fei's heart sank and immediately rushed out. It was also at this moment, within a tent in Dragon Mountain Valley. The Black Dragon Pioneer Camp has already been gathered. We have made all the necessary preparations. Long Shan said in a low voice. Long Lei asked, "How is Mengyu?" Table of contents. Long Shan said, "Our battalion commander is fine. He has been mobilized by the Pioneer Camp. Now, the Pioneer Camp will only listen to him." "All right." Long Feng took a look at Long Lei and said, "The horn is for you to summon us all to break out of the encirclement." Chapter 3 was sent over. The countdown to the explosion lasted 3 days. Those brothers that didn't download it, just download it and know about it immediately. 8_8419/2356466. Long Lei was only Long Lei. Even if he was a great general, he could not represent the Long family's army. Long Lei was only Long Lei. Even if he was a great general, he could not represent the Long family's army. There were many people like Mengyu Moreover, the Grand Preceptor had an extremely high status in the Long family's army, so not everyone would betray him. Meng Yu's pioneer camp, the Lightning Dragon Army and the Wind Dragon Army had a total of close to 5,000 people. Facing Xiao Wudi's 60,000 demon army, breaking through would be extremely difficult. It was extremely difficult. The difference in numbers was like the difference between heaven and earth. However, they didn't have a choice. They all knew in their hearts that if they didn't break out, they would only wait for death. Waiting for Nangong Jun's support, that was a dream. Half an hour later, Wu. On the hill, a soldier blew the horn. Next, Meng Yu held onto his steel spear, mounted on his horse, and roared, "Long family soldiers will never lose. Go out and kill for me." As soon as his voice faded, the black armored soldiers rushed out in unison, shouting in unison, "Charge!" At the same time, on the other two sides, the Electric Dragon Army and the Wind Dragon Army attacked at the same time. All of a sudden, the sand and dust filled the sky above Dragon Mountain Valley. The fierce cries of horses and their murderous cries shook the sky. "If you don't want to stay here and wait for your death, then come with me. The Long Army will never surrender. Kill." On the way out, he continued to attract more and more people to join him. The more people there were, the greater the chances of them breaking through the encirclement. Long Lei crushed the teacup and rushed out of the tent. His voice was like thunder. He roared, "Anyone who dares to leave the army camp will be sentenced to death for treason. Who dares to leave?" The voice was so intimidating that the soldiers of the Thunder Dragon Army became hesitant. "If you stay, you'll die. Those who want to survive, follow me." Meng Yu waved his arms and rushed towards the encampment's gate and roared, "Kill!" Clamping his legs, the war horse let out a cry and rushed out of Dragon Mountain Valley. Long Shan followed closely behind, his blood boiling. If they fought on the battlefield, men would be treated as such, so what was there to be afraid of? Kill! Nearly 6,000 people rushed out of Wulong Valley. Inside the demon army's tent, Xiao Wudi laughed coldly and said, "I knew you all would break out at this time. I had long prepared everything for you all. Fierce Demon Elephant Legion, prepare. Surround them all. I will kill every single one of them." He said this with gritted teeth. "Give the order." Bam, bam, bam. In the depths of the forest, a towering tree was knocked down. Hundreds of gigantic, demonic elephants charged out like thunder. The demonic elephant was clad in armor. The runic outlines of evil were engraved on the back of the demonic elephant, as the power of these runes controlled them. Several people were standing on the back of the demonic elephant, waving their whips as they commanded. At the same time, warriors of the fierce tiger tribe and the heavenly dog tribe quickly encircled them from both sides. They were determined to encircle the army that had broken out of the encirclement. "I'll clear the way." Meng Yu's legs stomped on the ground, and he flew up into the air, the fine steel dragon spear in his hands thrusting outwards. It directly pierced towards that gigantic demonic elephant. Boom, boom. One spear slay, but it only managed to injure the demon elephant a little. The demon elephant's nose swept out, striking Meng Yu ruthlessly in the waist. The moment Meng Yu landed, he pushed himself up with his dragon spear and leaped into the air, directly attacking the 5 demon warriors on the demonic elephant's back. At the same time, Meng Yu took action. The battle was imminent. Pioneer Camp led the way. The Lightning Dragon Army and the Wind Dragon Army didn't slow down in the slightest as they swiftly rushed out. It was just that, facing the overwhelming demon army and the gigantic demon beasts, they seemed to be unable to do anything. The demonic elephant blocked the way. Its huge body was hard to move. With 2 loaves of bread, the number of people increased by several times. In a short 10 minutes, Meng Yu and the rest found it difficult to even move a single step. Sleeping Dragon Valley, Long Lei's camp. A deputy general anxiously walked in and said, "General, the demon army has already been affected by Long Lei and Long Feng. Right now, both sides have empty defenses. We can take advantage of it and break out of the encirclement easily. Give me 3,000 soldiers. I'm willing to be the vanguard." Not waiting for him to finish, Long Lei suddenly moved. A wave of dense power burst out from his right palm and struck the face of the deputy general, instantly killing him. His voice became gloomy. "Whoever dares to mention breaking through the encirclement again, he will end up in the end." Within the tent, the vice general's expressions went grim, and they didn't even dare breathe heavily. Long Lei said solemnly, "If they want to go out and throw away their lives, let them go. Only those who remain can survive. You understand?" All the deputy generals nodded without saying a word. They didn't know what Long Lei wanted to do, but now was the best time to do it. Furthermore, there wouldn't be too many casualties. If the Thunder Dragon army were to move, even though Long Lei and the others would definitely be able to catch Demon Army unprepared, but Long Lei actually chose to stay put. They didn't understand. They didn't dare to ask, because the anger from Long Lei's body made them feel suffocated. Black Tiger Mountain. Nangong Jun had already arrived. They were all hidden in the dense forest, and 10 kilometers in front of them, they could already hear the sounds of fighting. A scout swiftly returned to report. Long Lei and Long Feng, the 2 generals, have already led 6,000 of the Long family's troops to kill their way out. They are currently surrounded by the demon army. Nangong Kuan laughed complacently and said, "Seems like the Long family's army is not made of iron. Long Lei will definitely not be able to suppress the others. That's for the best. Long Lei, once Long Feng's men die, that old guy, Xiao Wudi, will definitely attack Huang Long directly and directly attack Dragon Valley. At that time, Long Lei will have no choice but to retaliate. Long Lei, you want to maintain your strength as a bargaining chip between us, right? Ha ha ha. You really know how to daydream." Nangong Kuan retracted his laughter and said, "Surround again." "Yes, sir." "In the battlefield. It's surrounded. I can't get out. The front, back, left, and right sides are all blocked. There's simply too many demon armies here. So what if there are more people? We are the Long family's troops, the undefeated Long family's troops. Bring out the aura of our dragon family's ancestors chasing us down after the evil demon for 1,000 miles. Kill." There was no retreat, and that was the only way to unleash a stronger combat strength. In any case, it would be death. Killing 1 more was still 1 more, but killing 2 more would earn him 1 more. With Meng Yu blocking at the front, facing the oncoming gigantic devil elephant, step by step, the encirclement around him continued to shrink, and his heart fell into despair. Although he didn't say it on the surface. However, these people all knew clearly in their hearts that they would undoubtedly die today. No one could save them. No one would save them. It was a truly hopeless situation. At this moment, if Long Lei were to send troops to save her, she would definitely be able to do so. Many vice generals wanted to persuade him, but they didn't dare to do so and watched as the Long family soldiers fell one after the other. Their hearts were filled with resentment. Equals semi/floating life plus in the distance. Long Lei laughed coldly. "This is what happens when you betray me. Ha ha ha. Long Lei, Long Feng, this is what will happen to you too. Ha ha ha." Suddenly, a draconic roar descended from the sky, followed by a furious roar from the clouds. "Your father, am back," Chapter 1. I have been handsome for 9 lifetimes, and I am a tyrant. Guess dream fate. The world outside the world. Loach, brain-nourishing world. Dugu witch xiangzai, sky demon pitiful. Min taji, girl's mouth hard to kiss. Everything is fate, happiness in bubbles. Xiaofan, Dugahan, number 221. Bookworm, Tian Xing, Xiao Xian, blood dream tears, number 126. Chao Jun, Luo Hang, I love you so much in the past. His voice was like thunder, like the voice of a war god. His voice was like thunder, like the voice of a war god. Ice and fire broke through the clouds, floating in midair. Long Fei was furious as he watched the scene below. He bellowed out, "Someone who dares to go against the Long family's army. Die!" The flames and ice fell down in a straight line, continuously spinning in the air. When there was still a few meters between him and the ground, he turned around and his throat made gurgling sounds, following which flames spouted out of his mouth. Walala, walala, walala. Wherever the flames went, there would be countless screams of agony. Everyone would flee, while some would be burnt to ashes. In Long Fei's mind, ding, 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 the system beep exploded continuously. Dragon! Fire dragon! It's a dragon! It's young master Long Fei. Young Master Long Fei is riding on a fire dragon. All of a sudden, everyone was stunned, even the demon army. They stared at the sky blankly, as if they had forgotten that they were fighting. The ice dragon turned around and shot straight into the sky. The huge mouth absorbed the water in the air and sucked it all into its body. The dragon roared and fell down again, roaring at the dense crowd of demon army. Ice soared like rain. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Asterisk, whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Asterisk, the demon that was hit by the ice sword either died or cried out miserably. Immediately, the demon army was thrown into chaos. Amongst the crowd, Long Shan laughed wildly in excitement. It's young Master Long Fei. Ha ha ha. Who dares to say that young Master Long Fei is trash? Even dragons have surrendered. Ha ha ha. Too cool. This is just too cool. Riding a dragon. In the tens of thousands of years of history of Fireglass Dynasty, there has never been a single person that has ridden a giant dragon. The young master is the first person. The Long family not only can slay dragons, but they can also subdue dragons. The young lord is mighty. The young lord is domineering. In an instant, Mengyu stared at the sky, looking at Long Fei. He felt an incomparable amount of worship in his heart. Good boy. At the same time, Mengyu moved his dragon spear and roared like thunder. Kill, kill these dogs. Kill, kill, kill. Killing intent permeated the air, and the sound of battle shook the heavens. Xiao Wudi's face became incomparably gloomy as he stared at Long Fei, who was riding on a huge dragon in the air. The rage in his heart raged as he gnashed his teeth and shouted, "Long Fei, you're not dead yet." He roared. Xiao Wudi's aura exploded, and he instantly entered the second stage of evolution, the power of the tiger on his body exploding outwards. At the same time, he decisively said, "Everyone rush into the Long family's army. The huge dragon can only deal large-scale damage. As long as you rush into the Long family's army, he won't dare to spew fire." "Yes, sir," Xiao Wudi ordered. In order to survive, Demon Army rushed into the Long family's army even more ferociously. This time, they were all battling. Just as Xiao Wudi had said, once the Long family army was mixed in the crowd, Long Fei could not order the giant dragon to shoot out flames because it would harm his own people. All of a sudden, Long Fei controlled the ice and fire to attack from the side, causing the destructive force to decrease greatly. However, Long Fei continued to kill. The corners of Xiao Wudi's eyes twitched as he bellowed, Bring those captives out here. Those colossal dragons spouted fire, right? All of a sudden, a huge cage was pushed out. Under the cover of darkness, over 1,000 Life Yun-Long army were imprisoned inside, including Long Yun. Xiao Wuti stared at Long Fei, who was in the sky, and laughed wildly. Long Fei, I never thought that you would actually still be alive. Pull it out. Kill them all. The cage opened, and dozens of Yun-Long army soldiers dragged them out and faced Long Fei. Kill. Crack. Kacha-kacha. Dozens of heads of Yun-Long army fell to the ground, blood spewing out from their mouths. Xiao Wuti laughed wildly in a sinister manner. Ha ha! Long Fei, you bastard! Is this good? Ha ha ha! The Long family's army is the root of your Long family. Today, I will uproot your Long family. Woo-ha! Continue to kill. Another group of Yun-Long army soldiers with their hands and feet tied up came out. The hand raised, and the knife fell, and the head rolled down. Ah! Long Fei raged, incomparably raged. Seeing Yun-Long army die one by one, the anger in his heart burst out like a volcano. Long Fei said solemnly, Xiao Wuti, I will kill you just like I will kill your son. Xiao Wuti's eyes turned sinister, and his anger soared to the sky. Long Fei, come on, come and kill. He had gone berserk. He was completely enraged. Long Fei was extremely angry in his heart. The idea connected to the ice and fire, and asked, Is the distance far enough? No way. Huff. Long Fei exhaled and asked, Xiao Wuti, what do you want? Xiao Wuti laughed coldly and said, It's simple. I'll take your life. Long Fei rolled his eyes and said, Okay, I will give you my life. Release them. Long Fei rode on top of the ice and fire as he slowly approached. When he was a distance away, he asked, Is the distance enough? No way. Long Fei got closer. Xiao Wuti was not an idiot. In his heart, he suspected that the dragon was the evil ancestor from the Dragon Canyon. While they were talking, he grabbed onto a woman and placed her in front of him, sneering, Long Fei, you must know her, right? She's an old acquaintance of mine. That year, she was the one who brought the Long family army into demon territory and saved your father from my hands. Now, it's your turn to save her. Dragon Cloud. Long Yun looked at Long Fei, who was riding a dragon in the sky with incomparable excitement in his heart. He was happy for Long Fei and said, Long Fei, don't worry about me. Xiao Wuti slapped down. Pa! Blood hung from the corner of Long Yun's mouth. Xiao Wuti sinisterly replied, If you hadn't led the troops back then, Long Zhanting would have already died in my hands. Ah! General Long Yun. Xiao Wuti, F***CK, your ancestors for 18 generations. The Long family army was furious. Meng Yu, Long Lei, and Long Feng were also enraged, and all the Long family warriors who rushed out were furious. The more furious they became, the more excited Xiao Wuti became. He slapped them hard a few more times and said, Long Fei, is this great? Cluck, 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 cluck. Long Fei clenched his fists tightly. The key sound was released. His anger nearly made him lose his mind. Xiao Wuti laughed out loud and said, Now, kneel down in front of me and die. Long army, everyone kneel. Long Fei was furious. He hated threats the most. He had threatened him with the Long family, and Long Yun had an extraordinary significance to him. He didn't want to see Long Yun die. Seeing that Long Fei was still getting closer and closer, Xiao Wuti directly grabbed onto Long Yun's head and bellowed, Long Fei, I'll make you die so you can kneel in front of me. He roared, It was also at this time a sharp voice came out from the dense forest. "Shall Woody return my clan's lives?" As soon as his voice faded, a flick was fired. The javelin carried the power of runes. Shao Woody's face changed. At the same time, the ice and fire suddenly took a big step forward. The idea moved and said to Long Fei, "Master, the distance is enough." Chapter 2, 8_8419/2356468. Master, the distance is enough. Master, the distance is enough. A voice traveled into Long Fei's mind. Immediately, Long Fei didn't hesitate at all. In that instant, the idea moved and directly entered the fire and ice brain. At the same time, the ice and fire dragon might idea fused into Long Fei's sea of consciousness. Their minds were linked. Long Fei's gaze tightened as his eyes locked onto the leopard girl who was pouncing crazily towards the dense forest. Ding! Target locked. Crack! 10,000 points of true breath value dropped sharply as Long Fei roared. Ice and fire 9 heavens. The first stage. Prairie burning ice. Roar. Long Fei's and the ice-fire dragon's combination skill had a 5% chance of instantly killing them. As long as they were touched, all the experts below War Emperor realm would be killed in an instant. Boom, boom. Above the 9th heaven, on the first floor, ice and fire fused together, and like a pillar of light descending from the heavens, it directly inserted itself into Shao Woody's body. Crack! Shao Woody was nailed to the ground by the light pillar, and his body was penetrated by it. Ah! Ah! Shao Woody screamed out in pain. He did not know how to defend against this power at all. He did not even have the time to defend against it. The light pillar exploded on his body, causing his internal organs to ache. Shao Woody's body also kept changing. The third stage. Bam! His body suddenly changed. His body seemed to explode as it swelled up to become a huge black tiger. Even so, the light pillar was still staring at him. Shao Woody was not able to move at all. The top of his head still continued to exude bright red damage. Long Fei was greatly shocked in his heart. Is this the combined attack skill? The power of the outer world. Damn it, it's too cool. It's completely like a spear from the outer world. It's pierced into his body all of a sudden. Nailed to the ground, unable to move. Long Fei was shocked. Everyone was shocked. What kind of power was this? What kind of cultivation technique was this? They had never seen it before. Everyone was staring at Shao Woody. Shao Woody's powerful body was continuously resisting and struggling, but he was still unable to move or struggle free. Can you kill him instantly? Long Fei looked at the bright red damage that kept appearing above Shao Woody's head, and his heart skipped a beat. What if there is no instant kill? He had to be on guard. This was because the chances of success were very low with only 5%. No way! Long Fei's heart shook, and the idea said, "Ice and fire, spray him again." There was a gurgling sound in the ice-fire dragon's throat, but after circulating it for a few seconds, the flames were unable to come out. The ice-fire said weakly, "Master, I've used up all of my energy. I need some time to rest. I'm afraid now." The fire and ice were getting lower and lower, and the sound was also incomparably weak. To Long Fei, it was equivalent to 10,000 true breath-s, but to him, it was equivalent to hollowing out all of his strength. Long Fei immediately said, "You know how to ride space, leave the rest to me." While they were talking, the idea controlled and directly withdrew the fire and ice back into its mount space. Long Fei took out the dragon salure that had been possessed and descended from the skies, slashing down with his blade. "Shao Woody, your father is here." The saber chopped down. The blood-red aura extended 10 meters outwards as a blood-red light shot into the sky. At this moment, the sky returned back to normal, the whirlpool of 9 heavens disappeared, and the light pillar on Xiao Wudi's body also disappeared. A huge hole appeared in his chest, and blood spurted out crazily from it. Looking at Long Fei, who had descended from the skies, he gritted his teeth so hard that they creaked as he roared furiously, "Long Fei, I'm going to kill you!" When had he ever been in such a sorry state? Even 16 years ago, he had never been in such a sorry state. He was in a bad mood, looking at Long Fei's blade cutting down. His entire body exploded. The power of the War Elder realm exploding out as a punch was punched out. "Young Lord, Big Brother Long Fei, young Lord." It was true that Xiao Wudi was heavily injured, but his cultivation was only at the War Elder realm. Long Fei was only at the War Spirit realm. He was not his match. The leopard girl made a grasping motion in the air, and her javelins shot out. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Xiao Wudi was too fast. She could not even lock onto the javelin. Meng Yu pushed himself off the ground with his dragon spear and leapt high into the air, thrusting straight towards Xiao Wudi. Long Yun's heart sank as he shouted, "Long Fei, run!" Not a match. The difference in levels was too great. They were not on the same level at all. Moreover, in Xiao Wudi's fury, for the demons of the beast bloodline, rage meant an increase in strength, speed, and defense. His full-powered punch could instantly kill Long Fei. "It's over, young master. It's over, it's all over." Everyone in the Long family's army felt as if their hearts had fallen into a deathly stillness. In the distance, on the hill, Long Lei revealed a proud smile. "Trash is trash. Even brains are trash. I really don't know what he is thinking." "That's fine, too. We didn't die in the great, desolate mountain range. It's the same if we die at Xiao Wudi's hands. Ha ha. No one can stop him. Ha ha." Long Lei was laughing maniacally. When he saw Long Fei riding on a huge dragon out there, his heart tightened, and he was extremely unhappy. The flames of anger in his heart churned, and he even thought that his chance was going to fail. However, he never thought that Long Fei would jump down from the giant dragon's body and fight Xiao Wudi head-on. He was overjoyed. If Long Fei died, the Long family's army would completely lose their fighting strength and would be killed by the evil demons. At that time, it would be time for him to take control. "Idiot!" Long Lei laughed excitedly. Long Fei, accompany my son." Xiao Wudi rushed into the sky. His right arm moved, dense primeval demon energy exploding out. The punch tore through the air. The wind from his fist struck at Xiang Long Fei like heavy thunder. Long Fei grinned and sneered. "You want to kill me? With just you? Not worthy at all. Xiao Wudi, go to hell to accompany your son." In that instant, the instant Long Fei felt the entire summit was filled with heavy thunder, he let out a heavy roar, "Infinite shield." Buzz, buzz. There was a slight, explosive sound from within his body. When the wild mountain devil unleashed his ability Infinite Shield, Long Fei's body entered into a type of strong shield. Xiao Wudi's fist came flying over. Boom. The Infinite Shield did not move, and Long Fei was not harmed at all. Xiao Wudi's eyes sank and said, "Impossible, absolutely impossible." While they were talking, Xiao Wudi's fists danced as they rained down on him. Every time he struck out, it was as if he was hitting the air, completely without any strength. The more he fought, the more frightened he became, and the more shocked he became. How can this be? How could this be? Impossible. His attacks were completely useless. He was going crazy. He was a War Elder realm, and Long Fei was just a War Spirit cultivator. How could this be happening? No one could understand. What was going on? Table of contents. Everyone was dumbfounded. The The corner of Long Fei's mouth hooked up. His two eyes stared straight at Xiao Wudi and mocked. Enough, it's my turn now, right? Dragon slaying slash. Boss, go ahead. The third chapter was delivered. There were still 2 days left until the countdown. 8_8419/2356469. The bedevilment dragon Salyer slashed down with one blade. The bedevilment dragon Salyer slashed down with one blade. It cut heavily onto Xiao Wudi's shoulder. Open the skin. Ka! Asterisk, the skin was split open, and the flesh was lacerated. Aren't you arrogant? You dare be so arrogant for lousy. Long Fei roared out, and the second blade instantly slashed down. Tendon break. Crack. His tendons and veins were broken. Aren't you going to kill me? Come and kill. The anger in Long Fei's heart shot out like a volcano. Break the bones. Crack. The bones split open. Long Fei roared again. My father didn't kill you back then, and left you with a dog life. You don't know how to cherish it, so just obediently turn into a dead dog. Blood severing. Crack. The blood that was spurting out of Hua's head was suddenly cut down by the blade, as if it was stopping the flow of blood. Divine awakening. Soul shake. Slay. With 3 slashes, the dragon Salyer slashed down heavily. The blood light and sword chi continued to spurt out, and in the air, one after another strength stripes exploded as they shot out. With the last slash of the slay, Xiao Wudi was smashed to the ground. Long Fei looked down from above, and his body sank. Rumble! When he landed on the ground trembled. He moved his left fist and hit the ground with an explosive force, splitting pulse technique. It was a martial skill comprehended by the earth explosion. He punched the ground, and the ground shook violently. And at this moment, Xiao Wudi's body was bounced up, and at this moment, teleport. Shua. Long Fei's figure disappeared, and with a lift of the dragon Salyer, a layer of blade aura swept Xiao Wudi, who was in the air, away. His footsteps jolted. Whoosh! Long Fei held onto his blade with one hand and rushed into the air, roaring, to dare go against the Long family's army. This is the result. Dragon chop. Kill. The blade aura was released, flames and blood light interweaving as they slashed crazily on Xiao Wudi's body. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Asterisk, whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Asterisk, whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Asterisk. Under an entire 200 slashes, Xiao Wudi's body was smashed into pieces, and he was no longer able to move at all. Half of his body fell from the sky, his head rolling on the ground. Long Fei landed on the ground. The dragon Salyer swept a circle with its finger, and at the same time, it smashed Xiao Wudi's head with a heavy kick. Fuck! Who else? Rumble! 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 Long Fei's voice was like thunder, exploding in the sky. At this moment, he was like a god. God-slaying fist. All the evil spirits retreated. Fear rose in their hearts. Fear beyond compare. Was this still a human? Long Fei was not a human at all. I want to go home. Mother. I want to go home. Some of the demons were scared to the point of wetting their pants, and quickly ran into the forest. He did not want to see Long Fei again. I don't want to stay here any longer. Long Fei was definitely not human. It's the devil. The demon army fled in all directions. Long Fei's dragon Salyer shook, and she bellowed, "Where's the Long family army?" Here. All of the Long family's blood was set ablaze. Too excited. Long Fei's dragon chop was too overbearing. The bloody light and sword aura that erupted from the dragon Salyer, as well as the fiery light and sword aura, were almighty and domineering. They were excited, their blood boiling. All of the Long family's troops looked at Xiang Longfei, and at that moment, Long Fei was the god in their hearts, the existence of the dragon-winged dragon god. Long Fei waved his arms. Kill. Let them know the power of the Long family's troops, and let them know the death of those who violated my dragon's might. Kill, kill, kill. Kill, kill, kill. The sounds of killing shook the sky. The Long family's troops were like ferocious beasts. A mere 4,000 people chasing after 50,000 people was simply too gorgeous. What kind of domineering power was this? Long Fei stood in place, looking at Xiao Wudi, who had exploded under his feet. He laughed excitedly. Explode for me. Release the berserk energy. Ding. Congratulations to player Long Fei for killing Xiao Wudi for obtaining 10 experience points, true breath points, and energy values points. Congratulations to the player Long Fei for obtaining the divine tiger blood lineage. Do you wish to fuse it? Congratulations to player Long Fei for obtaining Thunder Dragon Rod. Congratulations to player Long Fei for obtaining Thunder Dragon Temple Treasure Map 2. Congratulations to player Long Fei for obtaining Divine Tiger Body. Do you wish to fuse it? Ding. Congratulations to player Long Fei for leveling up. Current level, War Spirit level 9. A series of explosions occurred. Beneath the striking attribute, every single one was a good thing. He did not wait for Long Fei to see the attributes. A notification came from the system. Ding! The divine tiger blood lineage is being absorbed by the dragon Salyer. Ding! The dragon Salyer has leveled up to become a tiger demon dragon Salyer. Long Fei was shocked. Seeing the changes in the dragon Salyer, the energy contained in its body became even stronger. When he killed Xiao Wudi, the great demon king released his blood lineage energy. Otherwise, he wouldn't have been able to cause such a huge injury. This feeling, it felt so good. Just that, Long Fei said enviously. You can level up just by absorbing blood lineage. I have killed so many demons that have only leveled up. The gap between them is truly too huge. Looking at the experience that leveling up now, at the sight of that long string of zeros, Long Fei had the urge to smash into a wall. How the F*CK are they going to be promoted? Immediately. Long Fei did not care about the matter of leveling up. He rubbed his hands and thought excitedly. Let's see what kind of good items dropped first. Weapon. Thunder Dragon Rod grade. Semi-God. Upgradable. Description. Thunder Dragon Temple staff contains terrifying thunder and lightning energy. Kill evil. Description 2. Lightning speed is extremely heavy. Requires 50,000 points of the True Breath's touch effect. Description 3. Task item. Open the Thunder Dragon Temple item. The Thunder Dragon Rod looked just like the staff that Shaolin Temple's master used. However, it was completely black, with 8 thunder dragons interweaving together, raising their heads to look at the pearl. The pearl was transparent, as if it was wrapped in a layer of something. A ball of black chi rolled around inside the small space like the soul of the seal, looking extremely strange. Long Fei said, the semi-artifact S also carry an additional trump card, but what the hell was a quest item? Could it be that this mission can allow it to level up to a holy artifact? Holy artifact and semi-artifact were two completely different concepts. Thunder Dragon Temple's treasure map 2, this thing. Long Fei's mind sunk. He immediately thought about the treasure map that he had bought at the Fengyuan Merchant Union's auction. The treasure map of the Thunder Dragon Temple. Could it be that there is more than one treasure map? Or could it be that I need to gather all of the treasure maps in order to find the location of the Thunder Dragon Temple? Holy **T. What kind of existence is the Thunder Dragon Temple exactly? Long Fei's heart tensed up. He had read countless of books in the Long family's book collection vault, but was unable to find any records regarding the Thunder Dragon Temple. Could it be that he is even more mysterious than the dragon race? Forget it. I'll study it when I have time. Thank you. And I, Dead Heart, Sunrise Phoenix, poor heavenly demon, river of sorrow, heart, Chuanfen, cowman, brother Chui has a temper. I 47, old rookie of Kong Ming, young man dreaming, fat brother is invincible, crazy book, Zhuge Luyun, shadow, light smile, Ching Cheng, Dazwang, strange ka, 0786, a long time gone, heart with you, leaves of the chasing wind, time fading, Loach, night in widow's bed, Shang City, little Xian, fan, Gucci, handsome man who kills himself, god of wine, drunk Lu, Chung, so much to thank you for supporting the sea. 8_8419/2356470. Not even 20,000 demon army managed to escape. From today onwards, the tribes within the demon territory would never dare to have the thought of invading them again. The Long family's army was simply too terrifying. Long Fei was too terrifying. Even their evil ancestor was subdued by Long Fei. How were they going to fight against the Long family? From morning until afternoon, Meng Yu and the others only stopped after they had chased the demon army back to the deepest parts of the great, desolate mountain range. Long Fei untied the rope on Long Yun's body and said respectfully, "Auntie, I've made you suffer." Long Yun looked at Long Fei and smiled happily. Hearing Aunt, the hatred in her heart for all these years was completely gone. "You're much stronger than your father. Ha ha ha." At this moment, Long Fei pulled the leopard girl up as well and said, "Call me Aunt." The leopard girl cutely said, "Aunt." It was like a young wife that had just entered the sect. After she finished calling out, her face flushed red. Long Yun looked at Long Fei, and his smile became even more joyous. "You're really much stronger than your father. I was the one who saved your father back then, but you saved me today." Meng Yu brought Long Shan and the others and walked up, knelt on one knee, and said with a heavy voice, "Greetings, young master." As soon as his voice faded, more than 4,000 soldiers kneeled on the ground and shouted in unison, "We greet the young master." "Greetings, young lord. Greetings, young lord." His voice shook the heavens, resounding through the clouds. Strongest upgrade system. At this moment, Long Fei was their master, the Zhizun of the Long family, the new controller of the Long family's army. Long Fei also felt his blood boiling as he roared, "Return to camp." The second chapter was delivered. 8_8419/2356471. Young chieftain, please forgive us. I forgive your 18 generations of ancestors. Long Fei scolded angrily once again and shouted, "Call Long Lei out for me." Just as Long Fei finished his sentence, the city gates opened. Ha ha ha. Long Lei led a fistful of elite soldiers to welcome them. A smile hung on Long Lei's face as he said, "Welcome, young master. Today, the young master has displayed his divine might, killing all of Demon Army to show off the might of our Long family's army." At this moment, Long Lei took a step forward and said softly, "Young master, those around Long Lei are his trusted aides, and they are all at the war chief realm." Long Fei nodded his head. He walked to Long Lei's side and laughed. And then suddenly, Long Fei's leg kicked out, hitting his leg. He kicked deeply into Long Lei's crotch. Crack! The sound was like an egg falling to the ground and breaking into pieces. Long Lei's legs were clenched tightly as his body curled up. His face was flushed red, and he was in so much pain that he couldn't even breathe. His two eyes were staring straight at Long Fei, and his eyes were bloodshot. He did not expect Long Fei to suddenly attack. He was completely unprepared. One of his trusted aides suddenly rushed forward, but was stopped by Long Lei's hand. He stared at Long Fei with two eyes and said, "I wonder why young master wants to make a move against me." Long Fei laughed coldly, raised his hand, and moved his foot a little. It was also at this time Long Lei's expression tensed and immediately revealed a defensive posture. However, Long Fei stretched out his hand and started to dig his nose. Long Lei retracted his nervous expression and heaved a sigh of relief in his heart. The moment he heaved a sigh of relief, Long Fei kicked him again. Crack! The other egg was also shattered. Long Lei was in so much pain that he directly knelt to the ground, his face turning red and white. Who would have thought that Long Fei would be such a rascal? He thought Long Fei was going to attack, but he didn't. He thought that if Long Fei did not take action, Long Fei would take action instead. Long Fei! Long Lei's head was about to burst into flames. The battle chi on his body was released unrestrainedly. Two gloomy eyes stared straight at Long Fei, as though he wanted to eat him up. Long Fei glared at him. "Long Lei, you still know that I'm the young master. Why didn't you kneel down when you knew I'm the young master?" "Shameless trash." Long Fei's voice was like thunder. He stared at the elite warriors behind Long Lei, who were eyeing him covetously, and said coldly, "I did not hear what you said clearly, did I?" While they were talking, with a move of his right hand, he summoned out his dragon sallier and placed it on his shoulder. Long Fei suddenly bellowed, "Is your father's words useless?" Kneel. Powerful and domineering. Long Fei's tyranny caused Long Lei to be caught off guard. Who would have thought that Long Fei would beat them down the moment he appeared? Long Lei clenched his teeth tightly as he crawled up from the ground. His voice also became gloomy as he said in disdain, "Long Fei, it is not up to you to decide whether or not you are the young master. You are the young master of the Long family in the Fireglass City. Humph! If you do not complete the quest's highest difficulty, you are not qualified to make us kneel." Long Lei's eyes were filled with disdain. "If you want us to kneel down and worship you, then you have to take out some strength. Today is the last day of the mission. If you do not kill any demon beasts, even if you fail the mission, you do not have the qualifications to make us kneel down. And even more, so have no qualifications to take over the Long family's army. Do you understand?" When Long Lei spoke, his two angry eyes were as ferocious as a demon beast's. "I don't think you can finish it either. It's better if you don't disgrace yourself and just go back to where you came from." Long Lei sneered. The pain in his thigh was still intense. He kept holding back. Long Yin walked forward and said, "Long Lei, the fighting strength Long Fei displayed just now is enough to make the Long family's troops submit. He is our young master, the one in charge of the Long family's army." As soon as Long Yin finished speaking, "Young Lord, young Lord, young Lord," over 4,000 Long family warriors shouted in unison, their voices shaking the sky. Long Lei gave a disdainful sneer and said, "Long Yun, a mission is a mission. If you can display a little bit of fighting strength, then you are nothing but a cat or dog. You, Long Lei, don't be too presumptuous. To dare insult the Long family's young master like this. Long Lei, what are you trying to do?" Strongest upgrade system. At the same time, Long Lei and Long Feng stepped forward and shouted. "What for?" Long Lei laughed coldly, stared at Long Fei, and said, "Have you completed your mission? If you're not finished, then scram for lousy." Long Fei's eyes turned sinister and became cold. "Long Lei, you are asking for a beating." The third chapter, Berserk Countdown. One day had passed. The day after that had passed. If everyone had a monthly ticket, they would vote for it. 8_8419/2356472. Humph, humph. Long Lei coldly snorted and said, "My face deserves a slap? Long Fei, if you don't take out enough monster head today, your face will be smashed." Long Fei slowly retreated a few steps, then laughed. Very good. Then let's see whose face will be smashed. At this moment, Long Yun grabbed Long Fei and said, Young master, you don't need to do this. Long Lei also said, You have already proven yourself, and the mission assessment only allows you to prove yourself. Now that you have proven yourself, there is no need to take out any monster head. Long Feng followed. That's right, Long Lei will not admit it. We can just admit it. 3-rate monster and beast S were easy to obtain, but 5-level monster S were not that difficult. It was impossible to kill so many demon beasts in a short month. This was the most difficult mission, and so far, no one had ever completed it. They were worried about Long Fei. If he could not take out those monster head S, Long Lei would make use of this opportunity to stir up a ruckus, refusing to acknowledge Long Fei's identity. Furthermore, Long Fei was not allowed to take even half a step into Dragon Valley. Long Lei looked at the three of them and laughed coldly, saying, What's the use of you admitting it? I want the Long family's army to admit that they are not qualified to make us kneel down before them, much less take charge of their troops. Long Fei, I think you better not embarrass yourself and scram back to Fireglass City. Long Lei revealed a smirk on his face. Right now, he dared to deduce that Long Fei did not have enough monster head S out, especially that 5-level monster's head, which was even more so. As long as Long Fei did not take it out, he had an excuse not to admit it. And also, the next thing would be much easier. Actually, just as Long Yun and the others had said, Long Fei did not need to do this. However, Long Fei had his own thoughts. He did not need Long Lei's proof to prove anything. Instead, he was thinking about the proof from the Long family's army in Dragon Valley. What the Long army believed in was power. If he used his strongest power, it would frighten them. In addition to taming a huge dragon and killing Xiao Wudi, all of these would cause a deterrent force. This way, they wouldn't have to kill any of the Long family's army to hold Long Lei in the air. The moment Long Lei appeared, Long Fei could make his move, but the moment he did, it was a civil war between the Long family's army and the Long family. The losers would all be the Long family. The Long family was already in a precarious situation. If the Long family army was in a state of unrest again, then the Long family would be in an even more dangerous situation. Long Fei smiled faintly and said, I'm fine. If he wants to see, then let him have a good look. As soon as he finished, Long Fei's voice was as loud as a bell. He said, All of you, watch this carefully. The sound reverberated in the air above Dragon Mountain Valley. All the soldiers of the Long family within the valley were paying attention, and the city walls were filled with people. Long Lei laughed coldly. Stop wasting time. Hurry up and start. Long Fei looked at Long Lei. Open your dog eyes wide and see clearly. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Asterisk, whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Asterisk, the 3-rate monster and beast's head flew out from the space ring, and in less than a minute, 100 of them were placed in front of Long Lei. Long Lei laughed coldly. Is that all? This kind of low-level demon beast can be killed even if it's trash. Long Lei, don't be too arrogant. Long Shan shouted out. Long Lei didn't even look at him and sneered. Who do you think you are? You don't even have the qualifications to talk to me. In that instant, Long Fei once again took out the 10 heads of 4-rating monster and beasts. Another pile. The hearts of many of the Long family's soldiers shook. Level 3, the 4-rating monster and beast's head has been completed. Now, only the 5-level monster's head is left. Will it be completed? This is the most difficult mission. Back then, even the genius Long Zhanting did not complete it. Could his son do it? So excited. Ha ha ha. The most difficult mission. Long Fei being able to do such a thing is already proof of himself. That's right, this young lord is strong enough. I don't think there are any 5-level monster, so it's impossible for me to take them out. The Long family army behind Long Fei discussed softly. The Long army on the city wall was also discussing, as were the Long army in the valley. Everyone's heart tensed up. They were all waiting for the answer. Could Long Fei take out the 5-level monster's head? Long Lei's heart was also secretly nervous as he looked at Long Fei, who stopped with a sneer. Why did you stop? Continue. There is still one more 5-level monster. What can killing these monsters prove? To prove that your mission was a failure. Get the hell back to Fireglass City? Meng Yu could not take it anymore and shouted, Long Lei, if it was you, would you be able to kill these low-level beasts? Don't just stand there and talk. You can still look back. Long Lei laughed. You dog, you found a new master so quickly? You. Meng Yu frowned. At this moment, Long Fei exhaled and said solemnly, Look carefully. He stretched out his right hand and used his right arm's strength to boom. A giant head came out from the space ring and placed in front of Long Lei. Just right. Wild Mountain Devil's 2 eyes that were full of grievance as they stared unwaveringly at Long Lei. That kind of powerful deterrent force caused Long Lei to stagger backwards. He lost his balance and fell to the ground. Wild Mountain Devil, 7-rating monster and beasts. Oh my God, Wild Mountain Devil is a horde leader-level demon beast. No matter how many times we surrounded and killed him, we suffered huge losses. However, we were killed by young Master Long Fei. Too fierce. Young Lord, young Lord, young Lord. He completed the most difficult task. This is too amazing. This is the Long family's young master. Young master, young master. Next, outside the valley, within the valley on top of the city walls, more and more voices started to ring out. Young Lord, young Lord, young Lord. Young Lord, young Lord, young Lord. Long Fei took a step forward, stood in front of Long Lei, and said condescendingly, Long Lei continued to act arrogantly in front of this father. Call again. While they were talking, Long Lei was stunned. Looking at Wild Mountain Devil's 2 lantern-like eyes, he was actually unable to react for a moment. His face was pale, as if he had been ruthlessly slapped in dozens of places. He slowly got up from the ground. At this moment, Long Fei roared fiercely, Kneel down! The Long family army behind him was completely set ablaze. Too excited, conquering the huge dragon and killing Xiao Wudi, now that even the 7-rating monster and beasts had been killed by Long Fei. This kind of shock formed a monstrous wave that rolled and rolled in everyone's heart. Equals half carrot float. Hashtag. Hashtag life. Carrot, his blood was boiling. Meng Yu took a step forward, and Shi roared, Kneel! Long Shan, Long Lei, Long Yun, Long Feng, and a few other disciples of the Long family all stepped forward and shouted at Long Lei, Kneel! The 4,000 Long clan soldiers behind him also loudly shouted, Kneel! 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 The first chapter thanks all the brothers for their rewards. 8_8419/2356473. Long Lei's face was as white as paper, staring at Long Fei with extreme unwillingness in his heart. Long Lei's face was as white as paper, staring at Long Fei with extreme unwillingness in his heart. It was also at this time people continued to kneel down on the city walls. Within Dragon Mountain Valley, countless soldiers of the Long family kneeled down. Because they were shocked, because they admired Long Fei, and because they acknowledged him as well, but they were completely subdued by him. It was also because Long Fei had completed the most difficult mission, the first in history. Long Lei was unwilling. Long Fei took a step forward and coldly looked at Long Lei and said, Still not kneeling? His aura began to emanate from his body. Long Lei frowned. His fists were clenched tightly. His anger was ignited like a flame. In that instant, Long Fei was suddenly furious. He slapped him hard. "I told you to kneel down." "Pa!" The crisp slap caused the surrounding sounds to instantly quiet down. The third time, the first two times, it was because Long Lei was caught off guard and did not expect Long Fei to make a move. But this time, it was because Long Lei was stunned. They were shaken by the head of the wild mountain devil and the aura of someone in a superior position that was being emitted from Long Fei's body. His heart was incomparably shocked. A slap to the face. It was fiery hot and incomparably painful. This slap also caused him to kneel on the ground with a bang, the anger in his heart boiling. However, he was very ruthless in his heart. "Long Fei, you dog, I will let you be arrogant for a while. You will soon kneel in front of me and beg for forgiveness." Long Lei knelt down. The 10 or so elite warriors behind him also knelt down in unison, unwilling to give up. The soldiers of the Long family on the city wall and the ones from the Wulong Valley all knelt down together. His voice shook the heavens as he shouted in unison, "We pay our respects to the young lord. Greetings, young lord. Greetings, young lord." The sound echoed through the clouds. Meng Yu, Long Shan, Long Yun, and the others were all extremely excited, clenching their fists tightly. They were secretly excited. "So cool. Ha ha ha. Young Master Long Fei is really too handsome." A young master that the Long family's troops had never so much respect. Never. In the hearts of every single one of them, Long Fei was the supreme expert of the Long family. The Long family's hope. Long Fei looked down at the world from the bottom of his heart. He looked at the kneeling Long family's troops and suddenly shouted, "All of you, stand up." Swish, 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 swish. Long Lei and the others stood up. Long Fei said, "Open the city gate. We want to enter the valley." Long Lei raised his hand to signal that he could not open the city gate, smiled slightly, and said, "Young master, the valley is currently in a mess. It is not able to accommodate so many people. And although the demon army is forced back, but the evil demons are born cunning, maybe they will retaliate. I need the Long family's army to guard the two sides of the valley." Long Lei shouted, "Long Lei, are you blind? We have killed all of the demon army without leaving a single one of them alive. They have no ability to resist or even fight back, so there is no need to guard the two sides of the valley." Long Feng also followed. "Long Lei, what exactly do you mean?" Long Lei's eyes narrowed as he smiled faintly and said, "I am the great general. I have the right to order the two sides of the valley to guard against the demon army's attacks." Long Yun said, "Great senior fellow apprentice, you still have a chance to go back." Meng Yu was an impatient one and said straightforwardly, "You're just a fart general. You don't have the qualifications to order us." Long Lei completely ignored them and looked at Long Fei with an ice-cold gaze. Long Fei asked, "What do you want?" Long Lei laughed. "You are the young master. Your identity is precious, and naturally you are different from them. You can enter the valley to rest, but there is one thing you can only bring in one person, and the rest of the Long family can only guard outside the valley." What happened just now was just a stall for time. Long Lei was waiting for Nangong Jun. It should be about now. Moreover, everything that Nangong Wu had prepared at Dragon reaches. Long Lei looked at Long Fei with interest and said, "If you don't dare to enter the valley, then rest outside." Intimidation? Long Yun grabbed Long Fei and shook his head. "Long Fei, don't go." "Young lord, you can't go." "I can't go." They were well aware of Long Lei's betrayal, but they didn't have any evidence. Even if they told others about it, the Long family army in Dragon Mountain Valley might not believe it. Moreover, they knew what Long Fei wanted to do. Long Lei laughed disdainfully. "You don't dare? What about the Long family's young master? In my opinion, he's just a coward. How could he be fit to be the Long family's young master with such guts? Ha ha ha. As timid as a mouse. He was still angering Long Fei. How could Long Fei not know how to goad him? Long Fei gently released Long Yun's hand and smiled. I'll go. I'm the young master of the Long family. Is there anything that I don't dare to go to? Young lord. Long Fei. Everyone stepped forward together. It was clear that there was a trap inside, and if they went in, it would be a trap of death for them. Long Lei would definitely not let Long Fei live. How could Long Fei not know? Beneath the city walls, Long Fei had consumed the last of the true pill. Beneath the city walls, Long Fei had consumed the last of the true pill. Yi Zichen looked at the true breath value. The confidence in his heart increased. After entering Dragon Valley, he saw 2 rows of black armored warriors wearing black armored masks and holding on to black dragon spears. Killing intent. The moment he entered Wulong Valley, Long Fei felt a strong killing intent. Other than the black armored warriors, there were no other Long family army warriors around. All of them had been moved far away. The black armored warriors were personally trained by him as elites, so they were absolutely loyal to him. Each of the 100 black armored warriors was a war chief realm. Killing a Long Fei, who was only in the war spirit realm, was easy. Moreover, amongst these black armored warriors, there were still people hiding with Nangong Wu, so they came prepared. Long Fei strode forward. Long Lei and a black robe man stood in front of the general's tent with a smile on their faces as they watched Long Fei walk towards them step by step towards death. Long Lei laughed complacently. Long Fei, you really dare to come? Long Fei laughed. The Long family army belongs to my Long family. As the young master of the Long family, why would I not dare to come here? Ha ha ha. Long Lei threw his head back and laughed loudly. Do you see a member of your Long family here? Long Fei swept his gaze across them and said, Long Lei, what do you mean by this? Looking at Long Fei's shocked expression, Long Lei could not help but smile and say, the meaning is simple. Today is the day you die. Not just you. The Long army outside the valley will also die. From today onwards, there won't be any more Long army in this world. Ha ha ha. After he finished speaking, Long Lei started laughing loudly again. Long Fei pretended not to understand and said, Long Lei, you betrayed the Long family? As he spoke, Long Fei used the true breath to spread his voice out to every corner of the floating Dragon Valley. The isolated Long family soldiers' faces darkened. They all whispered. Long Lei never thought that Long Fei would do such a thing, and laughed loudly. Traitor of the Long family? Ha ha ha. Long Fei, you wouldn't only know about it now, right? Your Long family is about to be annihilated. What is there for me to stay for? Only by following King Nangong can you have a future. Long Fei, a good bird chooses a tree. Don't you understand that? His voice was also magnified by Long Fei using true breath and spread to every corner of the WRM Valley. The isolated Long family army was in an uproar. Long Fei continued, What has the Long family done to let you down? Since the founding of the Long family's ancestor, there has never been a person who rebelled. Long Lei, when you turn back now, I will see that nothing has happened to me. Ha ha ha. Long Lei laughed out loud. Then I'll be the first one. Long Fei, you're about to die, and you want to persuade me to turn back? You're really pitiful, extremely pitiful. Long Lei said in disdain. The corner of Long Fei's mouth drew back, and said, I'm going to die? Long Lei laughed. If it wasn't for you dying, then who would have died? Oh, right, those Long army outside the city will also die. While they were talking, Long Lei looked at the sky and said, "It's about time." Black Robe Man nodded. "We should be there soon." At this moment, shouts and screams came from outside the valley. "Ha ha ha! Ha ha ha! Ha ha ha!" Long Lei laughed proudly. He stared at Long Fei excitedly. "Did you hear that? Did you hear that? Your people are crying and screaming. Ha! General Nangong has already arrived. He will kill all 4,000 of the Long family's troops. Ha ha! Long Fei, are you telling me that it's not good for a useless person like you to obediently bring the Fire Glass City along? Why did you come to Dragon Reaches? You think you alone can fight me? Ha ha ha!" Long Lei was incomparably excited and pleased with himself, as he thought that everything was set in stone. The corner of Long Fei's mouth curled up. When Long Lei smiled, he also laughed. Moreover, his smile was extremely sinister. Long Lei was startled and said, "Long Fei, you can still laugh. Just now, I knelt down in front of you, but now, kneel before your father." Long Lei's voice sank. The power of the war chief realm burst forth, forming a strong pressure. He roared again, "Kneel!" Long Fei's body faintly moved. A strong pressure crushed the sea of consciousness, and the mind felt as if something weighing tens of thousands of kilograms was pressing down on the body. It was incomparably uncomfortable. Long Fei's eyes turned sinister as he laughed coldly. "Long Lei, your death is imminent, and you still don't know? Go out and take a look, and see who it is that is crying and shouting, whose people are shrieking, whose people are being massacred. Ha ha ha! Fight with me? Long Lei, you don't have the qualifications to fight me." Long Lei looked shocked as he sneered. "Do you think I'm trying to scare the big one?" Nangong Wu's face changed slightly. It was also at this time a soldier on the city gate shouted loudly, "Great General, Nangong Jun has been surrounded and killed by a pack of flaming wolves. Long Lei and General Long Feng are leading over 4,000 Long family troops to surround and kill Nangong Jun. What should we do?" As soon as his voice faded, Long Lei staggered backwards, unable to stand steadily. Nangong Wu's face changed greatly. His eyes stared straight at Long Fei. "Kid, what did you do?" Long Fei said coldly, "Nangong Jun has attempted to ambush my Long family's army. Kill them all." "What?" At this moment, outside the valley, Xiao Bai took the lead and rushed into the Nangong army to kill crazily. A second-rank divine beast wasn't just for show. The power was boundless. Those Nangong soldiers did not have any defense in their hearts. How could they have known that a group of ferocious beasts would suddenly charge out? Furthermore, every one of them was a three-rate monster and beast, and there were even many of them which could completely withstand the attacks of demon beasts. While they were frantically retreating, the leopard girl waved her arms and shouted, "Kill!" Mengyu mounted his horse. The steel dragon spear in his hand slashed the ground. Flames scattered everywhere. As though he was an invincible vanguard, he rushed forward with a move of the spear. He shot out the head of an assistant general from the Nangong army. "Kill! Kill! Kill!" This was a massacre. Nangong Jun's fighting strength was basically zero. The attacks from the demon beasts and the fierceness of the Long family army completely crushed the 30,000 Nangong imperial soldiers. He had already left Xiao Bai's house on ice and fire, asking him to summon his girlfriend from the desolate mountain. This time, the level 2 divine beast summoned all of the wolves in the great desolate mountain range, wanting to encircle and kill the demon army. But when Long Fei received Xiao Bai's sound transmission, he immediately made them hide, using them to deal with Nangong Jun. The sounds of battle shook the skies outside. The valley was filled with killing intent as well. The deterrence of General Long Lei intimidated the Long family troops. Long Fei was secretly anxious. With Long Lei's order, The 100 black armored warriors surrounded Long Fei in the middle. Dragon-locked tactical method. The elite group of 100 War Chief Realm was created by the Long family's ancestor to trap the gigantic dragon. Long Fei was trapped in the middle and tried to break through, but every time he was forced back, the secrets of the array was too profound. Long Fei had not studied the array yet and did not know a thing. To break through the formation, one had to find the core of the formation. The moment the formation aperture was broken, the formation broke apart. Long Lei laughed sinisterly. Long Fei, you colluded with the evil demon to kill the Long family army. Today, I will execute you on the spot. Long Fei's gaze continued to observe these black armored warriors, and he sneered. Long Lei, your father, am colluding with your mother. You're courting death. Long Lei was so angry smoke rose from the top of his head. He roared and said, change the array, kill. Ha! The black armored warrior started to turn. Originally, he was just trapped, but in that moment, the array formation suddenly released a boundless killing intent, charging towards Long Fei. The War Chief Realm had crushed Long Fei to begin with. 100 experienced War Chief Realm experts would be even more powerful, not to mention the dragon-locked tactical method created by the Long family ancestor, which was even more unstoppable. Long Fei's dragon Salyer could not even resist it. Teleportation could not penetrate the defense and could not break out. The power of the Mountain Hit Fist could not be unleashed at all. Even opening Wushuang was useless. Everything was locked up by the gigantic dragon-locked tactical method. What should we do? What should we do? Long Fei's mind kept working. Swish, swish, as body staggered. If not for the dragon armor and the defense of the King Kong shield, Long Fei's entire body would have been riddled with holes. Ha ha ha! Long Fei, how does the dragon-locked tactical method feel? This is a formation that your ancestors set up that even giant dragons could trap. Furthermore, the formation has been in use for so long that no one has been able to break it. Ha ha ha! Isn't it fun for your master to use the array formation to kill the Long family? Ha ha ha! Seeing Long Fei being beaten up to the point that he couldn't even breathe, Long Lei excitedly laughed out loud. No one knew the secrets of the dragon-locked tactical method. No one in the Long family knew where the core of the formation was, except from the founder of the Long family. If he couldn't find the core of the formation, he wouldn't be able to break it. This was the Long family's killing move. This was also the grave that Long Lei had dug for Long Fei. Nangong Wu could not help but start to sneer. General Long Lei, you're the smart one, using the Long family's formation to kill the Long family's people. Ha ha! This move is really vicious. I like it. But we have to hurry. Nangong Wu was worried that his big brother would not be able to hold on. Long Lei laughed. Don't worry. Look at him. He's like a dog in a cage. He'll be killed very soon. The surrounding Long family army stepped forward. Long Lei's voice was suddenly heard for a while. You all better wait obediently at the side. If not, don't blame me for being impolite. Swish, swish. 2 more spears pierced through Long Fei's arms, causing blood to gush out. Long Fei still could not find the crux of the array, and was still unable to break through it. His cultivation technique, strength, and true breath seemed to be locked in place. The power of the dragon-locked tactical method was simply too great. Long Lei laughed complacently. I have spent a whole 10 years cultivating these black armored warriors, making them eat and sleep together, training their tacit understanding to the peak, one of them moving, the other 99 people moving in an instant, although I have not released the greatest amount of power from the dragon-locked tactical method. It is enough to kill you, this kind of trash. Ha! Long Fei, is this great? Long Lei laughed madly. You want me to kneel down and act arrogantly in front of me? This is great. Ha ha ha. Long Fei resisted with all his might. Given how ignorant he was of formations, he really couldn't think of any solutions. Furthermore, everything about him had been sealed. This was a huge headache for him. Even Dragon Salyer would not be able to bring it out. This feeling was too unbearable. No formation aperture. No formation aperture. This is not. It's not there. No. No. Long Fei's brain was still working hard. Why does this array have no eyes? Impossible. A formation without an array core doesn't work at all. Long Fei looked at his feet. Suddenly, Long Fei's forehead shook. Fuck. Myself. Myself. I am the core of this formation. How brilliant. Too brilliant. Ancestor was truly too clever. He used the trapped enemies as the eye of the formation. Even if he were to die, he would not be able to find the core of the formation. Long Fei's heart was boiling, and at this moment, Long Fei suddenly moved, his eyes firmly locking onto Long Lei. He roared, "Whoosh Wong, open!" Wong. The attributes in his body were released twice over. Next, Long Fei took out a black staff from the space ring S. Thunder Dragon Rod. The might of the holy artifact was released. The idea sank. The Thunder Dragon Rod in Long Fei's right hand shook and directly stabbed into the ground, activating True Breath. The enormous True Breath rushed into the Thunder Dragon Rod. Next, Baidu search. Half afloat, the 8 lightning dragons on Long Lei's staff roared, and all of them charged out, transforming into incredibly thick bolts of lightning. With Long Fei as the center, they began to wreak havoc everywhere. Death. Death. Or was it death? Chapter 1. Subscription. 8_8419/235646. 8 lightning dragons were unstoppable. 8 lightning dragons were unstoppable. Anger, madness, annihilation. The 100 black armored warriors were blasted to smithereens by the thunderous force. Ding, 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 ding. S mind continuously rang with the names of 100 notifications. It was extremely pleasing. This is only the semi-artifact. What if it becomes a holy artifact? No, I have to find time to use Thunder Dragon Rod S to level up. Mass-killing techniques are too important to me. His experience points had risen by a great deal. Long Fei was extremely shocked in his heart. He did not expect that the Thunder Dragon Rod would actually be able to unleash such a large-scale destructive power. The 8 dragons enraged, spreading to all corners of the land. This scene was too King gorgeous. Long Fei couldn't help but feel his blood boiling, looking at the dumbstruck Long Lei and Nangong, Wu, who were in the distance, and unable to say a single word. Long Fei laughed coldly, smiling. Keep laughing. Smile for lousy again. Long Lei was confused. The dragon-locked tactical method was invincible. How could it be broken? Long Fei was merely in the war spirit realm, so his cultivation was even more impossible. Why did this happen? Long Lei couldn't understand. He didn't even know how the dragon-locked tactical method was broken through. How did Long Fei know? Where was the formation core? Furthermore, no one knew. Only the ancestors of the Long family who created this formation back then knew about it. So how could Long Fei know about it? Furthermore, what exactly was the weapon beside Long Fei? He was actually able to release 8 incomparably violent thunder dragons, each with the strength of a thunderbolt that could kill 100 black armored elites in an instant. Long Lei looked at the black armored warriors turning into powder one after another. His heart sank even more as he muttered to himself, "This is not real. This is definitely not real." The might of holy artifact S were too powerful. The surrounding Long family troops were even more shocked. If the dragon-locked tactical method could be broken through, then Long Fei's strength would be too strong. In the hearts of every single one of them, Long Fei's position would rise to a new height. Suddenly, Nangongwu bellowed, "Brat, go and die!" The surrounding Long family guards shouted loudly, "Young master, be careful!" Nangongwu's claws moved. Wind blew out from his 5 fingers, grabbing Xiang Longfei's head. If this claw hit, Long Fei's head would be ripped apart. Long Fei's eyes turned sinister. He took out the dragon salyer and laughed out loud. "My blade is already unable to endure the thirst." Buzz. The blood aura of the dragon salyer moved. Shua. Long Fei took a step forward and directly faced Nangongwu. A claw came at him. A blade came down. Roar. Roar. 2 roars of demonic beasts could be heard from the dragon salyer. One was the wild mountain devil. The other was the divine tiger roar. Crack! Ah! Nangongwu screamed out in pain. Both his claws were cut off and blood spurted out from his wounds. While he's sick, take his life. Teleport. Swish. Long Fei instantly appeared behind Nangongwu, retracting the dragon salyer and sinking both of his fists. Both fists hit the ground. The ground suddenly shook, and the ground split apart. A powerful burst of earth energy directly blew Nangongwu up into the air, and with a leap, Long Fei's fists were like hammers. Mountain hit fist. One hug, one bang. The large power King Kong ape's silhouette moved between heaven and earth and smashed right into Nangongwu's head. Boom. Headshot, instant kill. Ding. Congratulations to player. Long Fei for killing. Nangongwu for obtaining an experience point. True Breath 200. Energy values 10 points. Congratulations to player Long Fei for obtaining. The uplifting sound continued to ring out, releasing a few trashy items. Long Fei did not even take a glance at them, as he was not the least bit interested in them. The surrounding Long family troops were once again shocked by Long Fei. The slay of the dragon salyer, the speed of teleportation. It could be described as perfect if all the links were linked by pure force. Too cool. He's really too handsome. If I were a woman, I would have loved young master to death. F***CK. If I were a woman, would it still be your turn? If you were women, then I would have killed you already. But young Master Long Fei is so handsome, we can't kill each other. Ha ha ha. Young master, I love you. I want to give birth to your baby. Some of the Long family soldiers were so excited that they began to cry. The shock that Long Fei gave them got stronger and stronger, and the worship of power made them admire Long Fei even more. It was also at this time the Long family's army immediately surrounded Long Lei. Long Fei stood beside the Thunder Dragon rod and stared coldly at Long Lei. He then arrogantly said, "Long Lei, is this great?" Giggle. Long Lei clenched his fists tightly. The battle chi on his body gushed out berserk, directly forcing all of the Long family's troops who were near him to retreat. Long Fei! Gritting her teeth, Long Fei's gaze turned sinister as he laughed coldly. "Must be great, right?" Ah! Long Lei was infuriated. The armor on his body was immediately destroyed by the battle chi. With a move of his right hand, he took out a golden dragon spear, and with a move of his spear, he pierced through the air. Immediately, countless golden spears appeared in the air as Long Lei took a step forward. Boom! The killing intent on the battlefield flared up, and Long Lei rushed towards Xiang Longfei. "Be careful, young lord! Be careful, young lord! We will block Long Lei." The Long family army swiftly blocked. Long Fei shouted, "You guys get out of the way." As soon as he finished, Long Fei followed suit and stepped forward, hooking up the thunder dragon rod that was stuck in the ground with his feet. The thunder dragon rod flew in midair and then landed heavily. In that instant, Long Fei moved to Long Lei's side, holding onto the thunder dragon rod with one hand and thrusting it forward fiercely. Boom! One spear, the other staff collided with each other. His strength exploded outwards. The thunder dragon rod in Long Fei's hands was about to fall out. If it wasn't because the thunder dragon rod was a holy artifact, he would have already been blown away. It had to be said that Long Lei was very strong. If it was a fight with bare hands, Long Fei would not be his match. However, in this day and age, who would fight barehanded? With the holy artifact, of course they had to use it. In that instant, with a move of Long Fei's right hand, he brought out the dragon salyer and laughed wildly. Long Lei, go to hell with this daddy. Ha ha ha. Once the dragon salyer appeared, the bedevilment chi on the dragon salyer was completely different. The bloodlight saber chi moved. Long Fei released all the power he could muster from his right hand. Skin opening. Boom. Flaming saber chi ignited. Tendon break. Boom. Break the bones. Slaying the blood, opening the eyes. Get down. Every time he swung his blade, Long Fei would fiercely charge forward with the thunder dragon rod in his left hand and the dragon salyer in his right. Facing the crushing suppression of two holy artifacts, no matter how powerful Long Lei was, he would not be able to block them. In the end, he was sent flying by the saber. Teleport. Long Fei disappeared from his spot, retracting his dragon salyer, holding onto it with both of his hands. He fiercely stabbed at Long Lei's chest. Die! Boom! It directly pierced through Long Lei's body. Long Lei should have died under the thunder dragon rod. This was fate. Ding! Sister-in-law, 1-/+ health, strongest upgrade system. Congratulations to player Long Fei for killing Long Lei for obtaining an experience point. True breath, 300 points. Energy values, 100 points. Congratulations to player Long Fei for obtaining Spirit Gathering Bead. Spiritual Gathering Pearl. Long Fei was stunned. Chapter 2. 8_8419/2356477. Long Lei was not a boss. His cultivation was only at War Chief realm. Long Lei was not a boss. His cultivation was only at War Chief realm. Thus, Long Fei did not plan to waste his striking attribute on him, but he never imagined that a spirit gathering pearl would actually explode out, and he was extremely shocked. Long Fei had read many books in the Long family scripture pavilion, including the Spirit Treasure Mirror, so the spiritual gathering pearl was a very special existence. Long Fei was secretly excited and immediately checked the attributes. Item: Spiritual Gathering Pearl. Sword, grade, Earth Stage Level 1. Description: able to absorb all sword energy and slowly refine it. Once it is filled, it can be fused into a weapon sword to form a sword spirit. What kind of existence was a sword spirit? Even if you were to use a peerless expert of the sword, you might not even be able to train in sword spirits. Sword spirit is the spirit of the sword. It can also be said to release the soul outwards. The stronger the sword spirit, the stronger the power of the sword art you cultivate will be. It is a rare treasure. No, sword spirits were extremely difficult to refine, and it was extremely difficult for the spiritual gathering pearl to absorb sword chi. Besides the spirit gathering pearl's sword, there was also the saber, spear, and beast, and so on and so forth, a series of spiritual gathering pearls, each of which was an existence of sky-high prices. Long Fei was very excited. I have a blade and a staff. I still lack a holy artifact sword. This will make me even more eye-catching. At this moment, the Long family's army surrounded him and knelt down in unison. Greetings, young chieftain." At this moment, Long Fei had completely become the Long family's new ruler and had conquered all of their troops. Long Fei's eyes darkened. He looked at the 15,000 over Long family soldiers, picked up his dragon salyer, and raised it up, roaring, "Go out and annihilate all of our Nangong army. Kill, 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 kill." The roar of 15,000 Long family soldiers. The doors of the Wulong Valley opened wide, and Long Fei led his 15,000 brothers to kill their way out. In the distance, Nangong Kuen's face was pale white, his body dripping with blood. Seeing the entrance of the Wulong Valley open, he immediately became excited. "Nangong Wu got it. Ha ha ha. Long Lei has brought the Long family army to attack. We can be saved this time." Even in his dreams, Nangong Kuen would never have thought that he would be attacked by a group of fierce beasts before he could attack first. The Class 5 magical beast had rushed in, and even he couldn't defend against it, especially a female wolf. She was extremely savage, just like how she treated Nangong Jun. Nangong Kuen was simply unable to hold on. This wasn't much. They were running for their lives. Long Lei had brought over 4,000 Long clan disciples with him to attack from their butts. Moreover, they were surrounding them tightly. After more than 10 attempts, he had failed to break out of the encirclement. In the past, he had always heard that the Long family army was so strong that he didn't care about them at all. But now, he always experienced the cruelty of the Long family army. Nangong Kuen panted heavily and said, "Everything is over. Nangong Wu has brought over 10,000 of the Long family's troops over, and Long Lei and the rest are about to retreat." Just when he was feeling proud, one of the soldiers stumbled forward and said, "General." No, it's not General Nangong Wu, nor General Long Lei." Nangong Kuen's brows twitched. He grabbed him by the collar and lifted him into the air, then shouted, "If it wasn't them, then who could it be? Could it be that trash Long Fei?" Before he could finish, a roar resounded in the sky. "That's me. Kill them all. Other than Nangong Kuen, Nangong Jun will not keep anyone else." Long Fei and 15,000 Long family soldiers rushed out. "Ha ha ha. Young master, I can't help but fall in love with you." Meng Yu killed to his heart's content. In all his years as a soldier, he had never been as carefree as he was today. From the first time he saw Long Fei, when he confidently and unhurriedly jumped down the cliff, that kind of confidence, that kind of arrogant and domineering attitude, Meng Yu had been subdued. That feeling was very comfortable. Everything that had happened today made his blood boil. He had never felt such passion before. Not just him. It was the same for the Dragon Lightning, Dragon Wind, and Dragon Cloud tribesmen that numbered above 4,000. Every one of them was extremely excited because of Long Fei. Long Fei gave them something that no one else could give. The Long family would never admit defeat. They would never give in. It was also known as the military soul, the dragon soul. It was just one word. Everything that happened today was destined to be unforgettable for them, and this would make them proud for the rest of their lives. Kill. The sound of battle shook the sky once again. Long Shan killed a Nangong soldier with a single spear strike and shouted excitedly, "Young Lord is mighty. The young Lord is mighty. The young Lord is domineering." The furious roars made every soldier of the Long family feel proud. It made every one of them feel hot-blooded. At the same time, Long Fei was the same. This feeling was too refreshing. The encirclement grew smaller and smaller. With the addition of Long Fei's 15,000 members, Nangong Jun had completely lost his ability to resist. Even if Nangong Jun were to surrender, he would only be able to kill him. Long Fei would never allow anyone from the Nangong army to live, nor would he allow anyone to do so, because This concerned the safety of the Long family in Fireglass City, about the safety of Grandpa and Uncle, and there was also JoJo and her shadow. Thus, he did not have any mercy. Even if he had to become a homicidal maniac, he would not hesitate. For the sake of the Long family, for the sake of his grandfather, for the sake of JoJo and the others, Long Fei was willing to sacrifice his life. A short hour later, the sky darkened. Nangong Jun's body was scattered across the battlefield. Not a single member of the Long family had died. This time, it was a complete massacre. Long Fei walked to the side of the Flame Wolf Queen, bowed deeply, and said, "Thank you for your help. I will send the order that I will not kill any flame wolves in hundreds of thousands of barren mountains from now on. If not for the help of this pack of flame wolves, today's ending would have been different." Long Fei was someone who would repay kindness. The Queen Mother Flame howled. Xiaobai said, "Master," she said, "it's an honor to battle with you today. She's very happy." Long Fei stared at Xiaobai and said, "Do you think I do not understand the beast language? You think you can tell me all this just because he called out?" "No, I didn't. No, 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 no." "Huh." Xiaobai laughed. "All right, she said it was because of me." Long Fei looked at the Queen Mother Wolf and said, "No matter who it is, I want to thank you. Thank you." The Queen Mother Wolf slightly nodded, with admiration in her eyes. She supported Xiaobai as she revealed an ambiguous look, as though she wanted to mate with him. Xiaobai scolded angrily, "I'm still young, okay? Don't look at me with that kind of eyes, or I'll cut you into pieces." Ha ha. Everyone laughed out loud. Wulong Valley. It was extremely lively. Today's battle was something they could brag about for the rest of their lives, especially the 4,000 warriors who fought valiantly. Equals semi/floating life plus. The battle here was over. However, Fireglass City's battle had just begun. The Long family was about to be annihilated. Chapter 3, 8_8419/2356478. Half of the over 50,000 soldiers of the Long family died because of Long Lei's betrayal. In addition to a full day of bloodshed, they were too tired. So many of them fell asleep on the ground. Long Fei knew this since long ago. Long Shan asked, "Then what should we do?" Huff. Long Fei took a deep breath and handed the letter over to Long Shan. "Hurry to the Nangong army camp and pass this letter to their general. Tell them that the Long family army has been accepted and that Nangong Kuan will organize the Long family army here and return 10 days later. Have the Nangong battalion send a letter to Prince Nangong." Long Shan took the letter, and without asking about anything else, he mounted his horse and rapidly rode in the direction of the Nangong battalion. The first step had already been taken. Long Fei slightly said, "First, delay Nangong Jun. They will immediately inform the Fireglass City about what has happened here, and that way, the Fireglass City will not be on guard against the Long family's army. They will think that Nangong Kuan has won, and that the Long family's army will be annihilated." Long Yun said with a slight smile, "Young master, if it's like this, won't the Grand Elder and the clan leader be in even greater danger?" As long as this news was spread to the Fireglass City, the powers in the Three Pillars would become even more unscrupulous, and there would be no need to worry about the Long family's army coming out at any time. Long Fei had thought of this too, and said, "I will rush to Fireglass City within a day." "1 day. We'll need at least 5 days to get to the Fireglass City. 1 day is simply impossible." Mengyu said, "Yeah, we can't make it in time at all. There's no way I can make it back." When Long Fei came, he had spent an entire 10 days. Even if he did not stop even after riding the fastest horse day and night, he would still need 5 days. Long Lay smiled excitedly and said, "Have you forgotten that the young chieftain has a huge dragon mount?" Huh, if that's the case. Everyone was excited as they looked at Long Fei. Long Fei smiled slightly. He did not want to reveal the secret of the time limit on fire and ice. Furthermore, if he used ice and fire, he wouldn't be able to summon them again within a day. What if the Fire Glass City appeared? He had to use ice and fire to suppress the 3 pillars and the Nangong imperial family. However, Long Fei did not say it out loud. "I will be back in 1 day. This is the second step." Long Fei continued, "I alone am not enough to contend against the 3 pillars, and even the Ice Fire Dragon is not enough. So, you are the third most important step. 5 days. Within 5 days, I need 10,000 steel cavalry to rush to Fire Glass City." Not waiting for them to speak, Long Sanfeng coughed a few times and asked weakly, "Don't worry about me. My old bones have been buried all over my neck. I have let down my ancestors." While they were talking, Long Sanfeng's eyes glimmered with tears. "If not for the fact that my Long family would not have reached such a state, if War Pavilion did not leave, it's all my fault for punishing him too severely." This was the greatest pain in his life. It was also something he regretted the most. Long Zhanting's talent, potential, and dragon blood activation were all the strong ones in the past 100 years. His dragon blood activation had also reached 90 points. If he was still in the Long family, the Long family wouldn't be like this. For this, Long Sanfeng blamed himself beyond reproach. Long Zhanhai said, "Father, at this time, you don't need to talk about this anymore. What's more, the Battle Pavilion did do the wrong thing back then." "Sigh," Long Sanfeng cried. "I let him down. I let down the Long family." In the short period of less than 2 months since he had left, he seemed to have aged several dozens of years. From an energetic old man, he had turned into an old man who was at the end of his years. Long Zhanhai said, "Father, stop talking. If you want to blame something, blame it on me. It's because I'm useless. It's because I'm dull, unable to raise my dragon blood activation, unable to break through cultivation realm. It's because I'm useless." As he spoke, Long Zhanhai knelt on the ground with a thump and ruthlessly slapped himself in the face. He really hated himself. Why can't I be a little stronger? Why can't I share some of the burden for my father? In the Long family, Long Zhanhai trained the most and worked the hardest. After Long Zhanting left the Long family, he worked even harder. But the restriction of talent prevented him from breaking through that shackle, no matter how hard he tried. Long Sanfeng immediately stopped them and said, "Zhanhai, you've done your best." Long Zhanhai bit his tongue until it bled, trying hard not to cry. Long Sanfeng continued to ask, "How's the progress of the task I assigned to you?" Long Zhanhai said, "Father, I have already sent 3 groups of people out of the city to rush to Dragon Mountain Valley. No matter what, I do not want Long Fei to return, but I received the news that Long Lei turned traitor, and that the Long family troops that were accepted by the Nangong family would all be killed. I am afraid, Long Fei." When the news of this spread to Fireglass City, the attitude of the 3 pillars and the Nangong imperial clan towards the Long family instantly changed. Following that, challenges followed one after another. Some of the Long family shops in the Fireglass City had been destroyed, leaving only the Divine Dragon Manor in the Long family. If it weren't for the 3 words Divine Dragon Manor bestowed by Grand Elder Nangong, the Long family's manor would have been destroyed. Cough, cough, cough. Cough, cough, cough. Anger attacked his heart, causing Long Sanfeng to continuously cough out blood. He looked at the pitch-black night. His hands started to tremble, and said, "Does the heavens want my Long family to die?" Does the heavens want me to die? Huh. Long Zhanhai held onto Long's sandphone, not knowing what to say. At the same time, he made up his mind. No matter what, even if he had to sacrifice his life for tomorrow's battle, he would fight in place of his father. His father could no longer take a palm from the War Master Reem. In tomorrow's battle, Nangong Lai would definitely give his all. At that time, as Long Zhanhai thought of this, his heart felt a sharp pain. I'm the patriarch of the Long family. I should be the one to shoulder all of this. Nangong Imperial Clan. Nangong Lei's face flushed red. He was exceptionally happy and laughed. Today, the third wave of people sent by the Long family were killed by me. Ha ha. You still want to pass the news to the Long family's army? Ha ha ha. Long Zhanhai, you're really thinking too much. Li Chongtian also said, excitedly, My prince, I heard that the Long family's army has already been accepted by your Nangong army. Why are you still going to intercept them? Nangong Lei laughed. Killing one less, the Long family's influence will be weaker. How great is that? Huh. Ha ha ha. Ha ha ha. Li Chongtian, Zhuge Tianlong, and Nangong Lei all laughed loudly. Zhuge Tianlong said, Your Highness, tomorrow is Prince Nangong Lai's battle with Lunatic Long. This battle Madman Long will definitely not be able to hold on. Nangong Lei said confidently, My father will naturally not be a problem. Once Lunatic Long dies, the Long family will be destroyed. At that time, there will be no more Long family in Fireglass City. At that time, it will be our three pillars' world. Ha 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 ha. The three of them laughed excitedly. The Long family was about to be annihilated. The 5th chapter was sent over. 8_8419/2356480. Long Fei's shoes were torn, and his feet were badly mutilated, but he was still running with all his might as if he did not feel any pain. Long Fei's shoes were torn, and his feet were badly mutilated, but he was still running with all his might as if he did not feel any pain. He had an ominous feeling that something was about to happen to the Long family. He couldn't wait. The leopard girl had been hiding behind him the entire time, and she was also panting heavily as she consoled, Big Brother Long Fei, your grandfather will definitely be fine. You should stop and rest for a while. Seeing Long Fei's legs covered in blood, the leopard girl felt a sharp pain in her heart. She didn't know what to say. I've never seen a man like this. Long Fei wanted to protect the Long family and his grandfather, but he was risking his life. If this continued, his legs would be crippled. Long Fei smiled lightly. Don't worry, I'll be fine. No matter how bitter the physical pain was, it didn't matter. He didn't want to suffer the pain of losing his family. He didn't want to become an orphan and experience the feeling of not having a single family member. He really hated that feeling. Very annoying. He had to protect his hard-earned family love. Although he was a transcender, he really did put the Long family in front of his home. Long Sanfeng was his grandfather. He would do everything in his power to protect them. Even though the leopard girl was crying, she didn't know what to say. She wanted to carry Long Fei on her back, but Long Fei refused. I will definitely rush back. Definitely. Long Fei looked far into the distance, his gaze incomparably resolute. Grandfather, Jojo, you must wait for me. Long family, in a small thatched courtyard at the foot of the mountain. He knelt in the courtyard, looked at the night sky, and muttered, God, you must protect my young master's safety. I am willing to use my life in exchange. I beg you, please protect my young master. Please bless the Long family. In the darkness, the female assassin looked at Jojo, her eyes trembling. What made Jojo take out his own life to beg the heavens? She didn't understand. However, in her heart, Jojo was the kindest person in the world. In her heart, Long Fei was the best master she had ever met, like Jojo. She also looked at the night sky and muttered, "If possible, I am also willing. Bless him, bless the Long family. The branch of the Heaven sect. What should we do? What should we do? What do we do, big senior sister? Say something. Tomorrow, Nangong Lai will be challenging Long Fei's grandfather." Xiao Tian paced back and forth in the hall, incomparably anxious. What dogs hit 3 pillars are you talking about? Is there anyone like them bullying others? To take turns challenging the Long family. What's the point of this? Despicable, shameless. Yi Zian also looked at Lu Luoshi and said, "Big senior, say something. As long as you say it, Elder Xiao will stop me from rushing out." Xiao Tian immediately said, "I'm going to." Lu Luoshi looked at them and said, "You think I don't want to? Do you think I don't want to save the Long family? Do you know who's guarding this yard? It's Elder Xiao himself." Yesterday, she had tried to charge out, but just as she took a step out of the courtyard, she was stopped by Xiao Changfeng. Moreover, other than him, there was another elder, an inner court elder. Lu Luoshi didn't even get to see the appearance of the elder. No one wanted to save the Long family more than she did. She owed Long Fei a lot. She wanted to repay him, but she couldn't even get out the door. So what if he rushed out? Nangong Lai of the War Master Ream. They were simply no match for him. Block. What should he use to stop them? Even so, Lu Luoshi also wanted to give it a try. If Long Fei wasn't around, she couldn't just watch the Long family get annihilated. How would she be able to face Long Fei in the future? Huff. Lu Luoshi's eyes darkened and said, "You all want to save the Long family, right?" Xiao Tian immediately replied, "I do. 3 pillars people are really unpleasing to the eye, despicable, shameless, and despicable. And that Dongfang Jian, she actually had an affair with Long Fei's fiancé. And she was even brought here. I wish I could tear off her face. Truly shameless." Yi Zian also said, "Big senior, just tell me what to do." Lu Luoshi was similarly not pleased with Dongfang Jian, and was even more so not pleased with Nangong Yen. He was clearly Long Fei's fiancé, but the entire city clearly knew about it, yet they still did not know how to rein it in. She was angry at Long Fei. Lu Luoshi said, "Listen to my orders. Tomorrow morning, when Nangong Lai challenges grandfather Long Fei, Elder Xiao, that inner court elder, Dongfang Jian, and the others will all go and watch. That is our chance." They had gone for the first 2 challenges, but this was the 3rd. Furthermore, they were experts from the Nangong Imperial clan. Thus, they would definitely go as well. Thus, it was the best time for them to get out of here. "Big senior, so you already had a plan." Xiao Tian giggled. "Big senior sister, tell me, do you like that bastard Long Fei?" Yi Zian joked, "Little junior sister apprentice, you just noticed eldest senior sister already liked him." He. Xiao Tian laughed mischievously and said, "Didn't I say it before? For us 3 sisters to marry one man must definitely be fun." Lu Luoshi glared. "You're not serious." Xiao Tian stuck out her tongue towards Lu Luoshi. Yi Zian whispered, "Senior sister, what about Hong Tianjun?" Lu Luoshi's heart sank and his brows furrowed.